0%. Chapter 1. All the People Cross, the Only Old Ancestor, New Book Collection. Xuantian Continent, East Zon Domain. Nanyang Prefecture, in Vietnam. Lintang County, Qingchuan Province, Dongxing County, Lingxia Town. 35 years ago, Zhang Chushuan, the old man of the Zhang family, dragged his family here, relying on the one-handed fierce tiger sword method to lay a foundation and establish the fierce tiger martial hall. Today, the Zhang family is one of the three major families in Lingxia town, and the clan land is in the northernmost part of the town. By the pond in the backyard of Zongfu, Zhang Chushuan, silver-haired and waist-length, looks old, and sits on the taishi chair with a fishing rod in hand. In front of him, there is a virtual light curtain that outsiders cannot see. At the bottom of the light curtain, there are icons such as bulletin board, chat, family map, transaction information item. After a moment of trance, Zhang Chushuan looked at the bulletin board. Swish. Interface switching. Welcome to the Great Thousand World. The Great Thousand World has countless subordinate planes, each of which is vast, ranging from hundreds of states to thousands of states, of which the smallest state has a land area comparable to the sum of the entire land area of the Earth. In the fantasy world, the weak eat the strong have everything, the weak have no right to speak, please remember it. In this world, you will have the opportunity to become an all-powerful powerhouse, transcending the long river of time and immortality. You have all entered the plane of one subordinate and become a member of the low-level non-quality warrior family, and your identity is automatically generated as the young patriarch. Strive to become stronger, improve your status, have the right to speak in the family, and master the authority of the family until you become the patriarch of a clan, and you will open the family plate. Becoming a patriarch will have unexpected gains. Building a family is a shortcut for you to become stronger. Every 7 days of survival, you can get a chance to open a treasure chest, choose one of 10 treasure chests, and you can randomly get rewards such as exercises and props. Every time you raise a great realm, you can get a chance to select a treasure chest. Each time your family grade is raised by 1 level, you can. The first to become a patriarch can get a special treasure chest, and an exclusive bonus of 3 treasure chest opening opportunities. The first 100 become the patriarch, you can reward 2 treasure chest opening opportunities. The first 1,000 become the patriarch, you can be rewarded with an additional treasure chest opening opportunity. Try to rise in this world with your clan, you will have it all. All people crossing. 3 generations of young patriarchs. Family building. Quote. Zhang Chushuan reached out and rubbed his eyebrows. People are old, their thinking is a little dull, and they can't react for a while. Zhang Chushuan's eyes were vicissitudes. Ordinary people don't understand what this is, but he is different. He is not an aborigine of this world, but he crossed over 45 years ago and became the favored young patriarch of a small family. I thought that I would be like the protagonist of the novel, Loved by Heaven. Tianzhao rose, pretended to be forced in the face all the way, and proved that there was no way to force the king. As a result, within a few days, the family was exterminated by hostile forces. If it weren't for the desperate protection of the cheap patriarch's father, he would have died in that extermination disaster. Next, travel the rivers and lakes and accumulate strength to seek revenge. But for various reasons, it finally took root in this Lingxia town and continued the incense of the Zhang family. Unexpectedly, when the lifespan was almost over, the gold finger appeared. Although this gold finger is not unique to him. All the people crossed, are they all fellow villagers? With a hint of remembrance, Zhang Chushuan looked into the chat board. The screen changes again, and it is divided into 2 channels, World Channel, Regional Channel. The Great Thousand World has countless subordinate planes. Zhang Chushuan is located in the Xuantian Continent. The whole continent is divided into 5 major zon domains in the east, west, south, north and middle, which are separated by the endless sea, and there are several zhou domains in each zon domain. There are hundreds of states in each zhou domain, which are governed by emperors, dynasties or sects. The area of one of the states is also higher than the total land area of the Earth. The number in the upper right corner of World Channel is 100 million, which means that so many people are assigned to the Xuantian continent, and one message can be sent every day on the World Channel. 100 million people. Even if each person sends a message is a huge amount, Zhang Chushuan is too lazy to watch. Directly enter the regional channel. The number in the upper right corner of regional channel is 10,000. Zhang Chushuan estimated it and judged that this area did not refer to the zon domain and the zhou domain, but to 10,000 traversers within a certain area. These are fellow villagers, who will have already found out that the situation is not right and are chatting. Crossed. Lao Tzu is the protagonist. Stupid cock upstairs doesn't explain. I want to go back. The 10 million demolition money I just got has not been spent. 10 million demolition money. Lao Tzu's tens of billions of assets are gone. This is a fantasy world. You can become the supreme strong, have the opportunity to fly to the sky, call the wind and rain, immortality, the poor, the ideological realm is not high enough. Quote. The big guy upstairs is right. If Lao Tzu has 10 billion, he is willing to take the initiative to exchange it for a crossing opportunity. The problem is that you don't. Everyone, have you seen your strength? I am a genius, 14 years old, refining the fourth layer of the body. Quote. Lean, big guy, please hold my thighs. I only refined the fourth layer of the body at the age of 17. If it weren't for my father's reliability, the position of the young patriarch would be gone. Everyone, help, my cheap father has just been killed, and the uncle and his cousin smashed me to abdicate. Brother, mourn. Everyone has a chance to draw a newcomer chest. Try your luck, maybe you can open something that saves your life. Thank you, big guy. If I can survive, I will definitely repay you. Quote. The number of chatters plummeted, and apparently they all went to open the treasure chest. Zhang Chushuan saw that it didn't look good with gossip, and also closed the chat board and opened the items column. There is a lot of space in the inventory, but you can only hold system items. At this point, there is only one chest in the inventory that emits golden light. Zhang Chushuan took out the treasure chest with his mind, and then reached out a little. Wow, the chest is divided into 10 and glows and levitates. Without much thought, Zhang Chushuan reached out and touched number 2. This wife's favorite number. Bang! The treasure chest opened, shooting a ray of light and falling on Zhang Chushuan's hand. The other chests disappeared instantly. Zhang Chushuan looked at his hand and found that it was a jade of exercises. Reading Yu Jian's information, he suddenly gasped. Shish. Transformation Divine Skill. Xuanji Ultimate Exercise. 12. 1%. Chapter 2. Goldfinger arrived. 100-fold reward. New book for collection. Shish. Transformation Divine Skill. Xuanji Ultimate Exercise. No wonder Zhang Chushuan was so surprised. As far as he knew, the martial arts and elixir formations of the Tianquan continent were divided into human rank, yellow rank, zon rank, earth rank, and heaven rank from low to high. Further up, it's another area entirely, not to mention for the time being. At each level, the quality can be divided into lower grade, middle grade, upper grade, and best grade. The law cannot be transmitted lightly, and the major forces on the mainland have joined forces to block the circulation of exercises, and the secrecy is excellent. The more precious the exercises, the more difficult they get. Zhang Chushuan has lived in this world for so many years, and the strongest exercise he has learned is still the fire system exercise he originally obtained from the Zhang family, the human rank pin, Fierce Tiger skill. It was by relying on the Fierce Tiger skill and the supporting martial art Fierce Tiger sword method, human rank upper grade, that he was able to fight a world in Lingxia town. Xuanji Ultimate Exercises, 2 levels higher than the Fierce Tiger skill, 9 grades. It is enough for a martial artist to cultivate to the peak of the transformation spirit realm. If this news spread, the Zhang family would be destroyed in an instant. Mu Shui, your luck is really good. Zhang Chushuan held Yu Jian tightly, his eyes vicissitudes. Opening a treasure chest is like opening a blind box. Every time you unbox, it's 1 out of 10. Among the 10 treasure chests, there is a fixed probability of item preciousness according to the strength of the opener. If a martial artist of the refining body realm opens the box, 7 of the treasure chests will open human rank exercises, elixirs, formations, spirit beasts, etc. 2 can open the yellow rank, and 1 can open the zon rank. If the opener's strength increases by 1 level, the level of the items in the chest will also increase. Zhang Chushuan's peak strength was the 10th layer of the refining body, because the Dantian was broken, the Qi and blood decayed, and now he has regressed to the 4th layer of the refining body, all of which are the realm of refining body. Xuanji Ultimate Exercises, the highest value in this batch of treasure chests. This luck is not bad. Hua Jiao Gong, I don't know if I can. Sweeping over Yu Jian, Zhang Chushuan's eyes were fiery. 35 years ago, due to some reasons, the Dantian was shattered, and he stopped at the refining body realm for life. This is one of the reasons why he gave up cultivation and wandered the rivers and lakes to settle down in Lingxia town. This transformation Jiao Gong is the ultimate skill of the Zon rank, and it may have the power of a ghost axe that can help him repair his Dantian and break through the realm. But before he could read the information in UGN, a voice suddenly came out of his mind. 100x reward ability on. Found that you can consume a Jade Jane, and you can choose to double the consumption as follows. 1. Xuanji Extreme Grade Hua Jiao Gong Jade GNX 100. 2. Ground Stairs Lower Grade Hua Long Gong Jade GNX 10. 3. Ground Stage Zongpin, Hua Long Gong Jade Jane X1. Zhang Chushuan was stunned. 100x reward ability. Special abilities. Consume Jade Jane, you can get a 100-fold reward. Before the crossing, Zhang Chushuan was a web writer. Even after 45 years, he is still no stranger to the protagonist's usual use of gold fingers. I have traveled so many years earlier than others, and I have survived for so long. Maybe compensation. With this in mind, Zhang Chushuan tried to communicate with the system. Are you the system? Do you have an assistant? Quote. There was no response. Zhang Chushuan tried several new names, but the results were the same. This thing doesn't seem to be a system. He can only analyze this ability from known information. 100-fold reward ability, as the name implies, is to multiply the reward 100-fold. 3 ways to multiply, corresponding to 100 times the quantity, 10 times the quantity and 10 times the quality, as well as 100 times the quality. How to choose is up to him. The first option is to double the Jiaogong JGN by 100, which is not without effect. Human rank to heaven rank exercises and martial arts can be directly copied in the text, or recorded in the JGN. The transcription is simple, there is a pen and paper, and the words can be transcribed. But copying can be wrong. The more subtle the exercise, the more content involved, the more remote the font, the more obscure the meaning. Become stronger by learning paper exercises, that is exclusive to geniuses. Most people still rely on UGN to learn the exercises. When the warrior breaks through to the realm of refining the body, he will have divine knowledge, and the divine knowledge can be used to record the exercise into the Jade simplification, and after reading it, the later can directly introduce this martial art. A Jade piece can only be used 5 times before it breaks. Therefore, it is not without value that Jade has become more numerous. However, compared with the Earth-level exercises, this thing that can be done as long as the strength is improved, the value is obviously greatly reduced. I choose 2. After careful consideration, Zhang Chushuan chose reward 2. Turning dragon tricks, turning Jiao Gong, the former is more powerful than the latter when you hear it. Ground and Zon rank exercises, level crushing. However, there is not much difference between the middle grade of the ground and the product under the ground step. 10 Jade Janes, 50 reading opportunities, enough for all family members to use. Option 2 is best. Click. As Zhang Chushuan made a decision, the Wahiao Gong Yujian suddenly shattered. Immediately after, 10 pieces of brand new jade appeared out of thin air and fell into his hand. Holding Jade Jane, Zhang Chushuan tried to contact the 100-fold reward system again. Sure enough, it doesn't work. The system did not respond, and Zhang Chushuan was a little disappointed, but not surprised. If the items obtained with the 100-fold system can continue to be rewarded 100-fold, then there are ghosts. Next, let me see how mysterious the great exercises are under the earth. Putting the 9 pieces of jade into the ring, Zhang Chushuan pasted the remaining pieces to the door of his head. The next moment, a flood of information poured in. The Qi of the right earth is also the emperor of ITN, and ITN is 500 years old. The Qi of the earth, the emperor is Qingtian, and the Qingtian is 800 years old and Qingzheng. The Qi of the strong earth, Yu Qishan, Qishan 700-year-old birth Qiden. The Qi of the weak earth, in the daytime, 900 years old in the day, born white. The Qi of the earth, Yu Xuantian, Xuantian is 600 years old Zan Qi. Zhang Chushuan sat quietly in front of the pond, his eyes closed, and he didn't even respond to the movement of the fishing rod. I don't know how long time passed, but he suddenly opened his eyes, and a glint of essence flashed in his slightly cloudy eyes. The snake becomes a python, the python becomes a worm, the worm becomes a worm, and the worm becomes a dragon. This is the 4 steps of snake turning into a dragon. 10,000 beasts can turn into dragons, and people can turn into dragons. This is a double cultivation technique inside and outside. As long as I complete the cultivation of the 4th layer of this martial arts chapter, I can repair the Dantian. Zhang Chushuan was thrilled. After 35 years of searching, hope finally appeared. But don't continue to practice now. Taking a deep breath to calm himself, Zhang Chushuan slowly got up and walked towards the front yard with a dragon head crutch. The priority is to become the first patriarch. Special chests and 3 treasure chest lottery opportunities. I'm going to decide. 1% Chapter 3. World Proclamation, the First Patriarch New Book Collection. Lingxia Town, one of the 3 major families, Zongfu. In the front chamber, Zhang Chushuan sat on the main seat with his eyes closed, not angry and arrogant. In the position of his right hand, sitting a middle-aged man, dressed as a scholar, elegant in temperament and extraordinary appearance. The man's name is Zhang Jingshuan, the eldest son of Zhang Chushuan, the current head of the Zhang family, 40 years old this year, and his appearance looks less than 30 years old. Looking at his appearance alone, no one could guess that he was the strongest person in the Zhang family now, a 9-fold martial artist of the refining body realm. Opposite Zhang Jingshuan, Zhang Chushuan's second son Zhang Jinhao and third son Zhang Jingshuan sat side by side. The two are burly, handsome and similar in appearance to 6 or 7 points. They are twins, Chinese New Year's Eve 7 years old today, in charge of the family guard and the martial arts hall respectively. On Zhang Jingshuan's right sits a richly dressed middle-aged man with a rich physique, Zhang Chushuan's fourth son, Zhang Jingxin, who is Chinese New Year's Eve 5 years old and in charge of the Zhang family's business. On the right side of Zhang Jingxin sat a woman with a petite body, delicate facial features, and strangely fair skin, Zhang Chushuan's youngest daughter, Zhang Jingxi, who was Chinese New Year's Eve years old and an apprentice of a medium-sized alchemist. The second generation of the Zhang family is all in Qi, which means Zhang Chushuan. Father, you summoned us, do you have something important to announce? Zhang Jingshuan, as the eldest brother and the patriarch, stood up and asked. The 5 exchanged a look, and their hearts were heavy. They knew that Zhang Chushuan had been injured when he was young, and his dantian had been damaged. After getting older, the loss of qi and blood is faster than ordinary people, and now his strength has regressed to the quadruple of the refining body realm. In this way, Zhang Chushuan is afraid that he will not live for a few days. Suddenly summoned today, they felt a sense of heaviness that Zhang Chushuan had to explain the aftermath. Nothing major. Zhang Chushuan opened his eyes, his gaze swept over Zhang Jingshuan's 5, and smiled slightly. Dad, I decided to carry the banner of the Zhang family and take the position of patriarch. Quiet, incomparably quiet. The 5 Zhang Jingshuan have become cross-eyed and their hearts are trapped. Father, as this is the end of life, and his brain is dizzy. Father, are you sure you're not kidding? Quote. Zhang Jingshuan asked with a strange expression. Zhang Chushuan twitched out of the corner of his eye. He knew that Zhang Jingshuan was not reluctant to hand over the position of patriarch when he asked this. These children are not interested in power, and no one wants to be the patriarch. If it weren't for his suppression with his father's identity, plus Zhang Jingxin's pampering, Zhang Jingshuan would not have served as this patriarch. I'm serious. Zhang Chushuan nodded. When T.W. Yupei, who represented the identity of the patriarch, immediately fell in front of him. Zhang Jingshuan was overjoyed and said to Zhang Jinhao, second brother, third brother, fourth brother, little sister, you can all hear it. Quote. It's the father himself who wants to be the patriarch. It's not me picking a pick. Zhang Jingshuan's idea is simple. No matter what purpose Dad had for being a way patriarch, he can relax for a day anyway. Even if he is faint and does something wrong, he is not the patriarch to stop it. If Dad can take care of everything, then he will be relieved. Today is worth 10 bowls of dry rice. Quote, quote. Zhang Chushuan was speechless, especially seeing Jin Hao, Jin Xin, and Jin Xin's 3 sons all looked at Zhang Jingshuan with blessed eyes. So, how rare is this patriarch's position in these few unfortunate sons? Do you know that there are billions of Earth villagers randomly assigned to warrior families, and the primary goal is to become the patriarch? It's so uncherished. It is better to pity this good daughter, without the slightest transgression. Perhaps, I should consider letting a woman be in charge. Zhang Chushuan threw a pleased look at Zhang Jingxi. Zhang Jinshi felt something, turned his head to look at Zhang Chushuan, and asked a little dumbly, Dad, you called me here for this matter. Quote. I still have to refine the quenching pill, you're too bored, aren't you? Zhang Chushuan almost spewed out a mouthful of old blood. Too boring. It is worthy of his seed, and this infuriating person's ability is really in the same line. From today, I will resume the position of patriarch. You will convey this news as soon as possible. I have my own intentions. Afraid that he would be angry with these 5 cubs if he said a few more words, Zhang Chushuan waved his hand and sent them away. When the person was finished, he took the patriarch Yupei in his hand. But even so, the system still did not determine that he became the patriarch. Zhang Chushuan is also in no hurry. The old god is sitting, drinking tea and waiting. Until a quarter of an hour later, a mechanical sound sounded. Ding. 2/3 of the core members of your family know that you are the patriarch, and your identity is locked as the patriarch. Quote. The corners of Zhang Chushuan's mouth were slightly upturned. Things didn't come as he expected. The patriarch, the head of a clan, the person with the most say in the whole clan, must not be hastily determined. If you can transfer it casually or get the patriarch's token, many people can exploit loopholes, too simple, worthless. It is more reasonable to get the recognition and support of most of the core members of the family in order to sit in the position of patriarch. As the founder of the Zhang family, he is not worried about this. The system prompt continues to sound. Congratulations on becoming the patriarch, the family plate has been opened to you. Congratulations on becoming a patriarch. Activate the patriarch's exclusive skill. The whole clan is united. Avenue level skill. The strength is the sum of the strength of the entire clan members after opening. No cooldown, no time limit. Closing parenthesis. Congratulations on becoming a patriarch and activating the patriarch's exclusive passive skill synchronization. Avenue level skill. You will passively gain everything that family members have gained on the way to cultivation. Closing parenthesis. Congratulations on becoming the patriarch and getting a chance to draw a treasure chest. Detected that you are the first traverser to become a patriarch, an additional special chest and 3 bonus chest lottery opportunities. Since you are the first to become the patriarch, the system will make a world announcement. After a series of system prompts, without waiting for Zhang Chushuan to digest the information, the world announcement followed. World announcement. Xuantian continent. Zhang Chushuan is the first to become the patriarch of the family, and receives special chest rewards, 3 additional treasure chest lottery opportunity rewards. X3. The world of announcements exploded 3 times in a row in the ears of all the traversers. Billions of crossers moved in unison, all stopping their movements. And then the world channel Friar. Yes, is there customer service? I want to report it. Someone opens the plugin. Quote. 1%. Chapter 4. Avenue level field. A wave of rapid wealth. New book collection. What about customer service? Is there customer service? I want to report it. Someone opens the plugin. Quote. Customer service. You think this is a game? Quote. Xuantian continent. I'm also in the Xuantian continent. Zhang Chushuan is begging to familiarize me. Quote. How can it be so fast? I just signed up for the family competition, ready to prove myself and deepen my influence, and as a result, someone has already become the patriarch. Quote. Shouldn't there be only a few people in this family? I thought a lot upstairs. According to my investigation, everyone's starting point is the same. The strength is the 4th layer of the refining body. The family is not at the small town level. The strength of the strongest in the family will not exceed the 10th layer of the refining body. The only difference is their own talent, age, and the internal environment of the family. Crooked building. Only I want to know what is inside the special treasure chest of the big guy Zhang Chushuan. Please. Same quest plus 10087. As long as you are not a fool, you will definitely not disclose it to others. In the fantasy world, the weak prey on the strong, and the strength is respected. Smart people know to keep the whole card, and they may be able to turn the tables against the wind at critical moments. Zhang Chushuan understands this better than any traverser. After casually taking a few glances at the world channel, he stopped paying attention and began to study the exclusive Dao level skills of the 2 patriarchs. The whole family is united, and after use, its own strength can reach the sum of the strength of the members of the whole family, with no cooldown time and no limit on the number of uses. Synchronous. Passively obtain all the gains of family members on the way to cultivation. After reading these 2 skill introductions, Zhang Chushuan suddenly struck. No wonder the bulletin board emphasizes that building a family is a shortcut to becoming stronger, and building a family will have it all. With these 2 skills, you don't have to cultivate by yourself. You don't need to practice martial arts by yourself, and you can completely bind the family to your body and maximize your benefits. Building a family is better than anything. Zhang Chushuan already understood what to do next. Since he became the patriarch before everyone else, he naturally wanted to inherit this advantage. Thinking of this, Zhang Chushuan began to unpack. The first is a special treasure chest, which does not need to choose 1 out of 10, and opens it directly. Special treasure chest opened. Congratulations on getting the Dao level realm invincible within your family's rule. Closing parenthesis quote. Hiss. Zhang Chushuan gasped. Invincibility. 2 words to do everything. Despite the scope limitations, it cannot hide the anti-heavens in this field. I didn't expect such a domineering thing to be opened in this only special treasure chest. If one day he can turn the Great Thousand World into a family rule range, wouldn't he be invincible in the Great Thousand World? There are still many benefits to traveling 45 years earlier. Zhang Chushuan felt that he was the emperor of Europe, and his mood was relieved. The fantasy world was full of dangers, and he had seen the strong from afar wiping a city inhabited by hundreds of millions of people with a light fluttering palm. This reward is worth amazingly. At least, when he is at home, he doesn't have to fear calamity from the sky. With such luck, he didn't hesitate and used 4 more chests to open opportunities. The treasure chest is time sensitive, and not opening it within a quarter of an hour is considered to be abandoned. Shoppen Lingxi X10. Human Rank Pill Tongji Pill Extreme X1. Human Rank Pill Quenching Pill Shengpin X10. Human Rank Middle Grade Knife Method, Hegemonic Blood Knife Method. 4 chests, 4 rewards. Zhang Chushuan felt so. The lower grade Spirit Stone, cultivating to at least the Gathering Spirit realm can be used, and the martial artist of the Quenching realm can only take a look. But even Gathering Spirit realm cultivators rarely directly cultivate with Spirit Stones, even if they are lower grade Spirit Stones. This thing is very valuable, but the strength is not enough, and it is a death to sell it. The second item, the Trick Pill, is used exclusively by the 10 martial artists who refine the body, and can be used to open up the blood trick. The third performance item, the Quenching Pill, is used by all martial artists from 1 to 9 layers of the body, which can accelerate the quenching of all parts of the body. Tongjiao Dan and Quenching Pill are both human-level elixirs, but Tongjiao Dan is much more precious than Quenching Dan. The fourth thing, the Hegemonic Blood Knife Method, a human rank middle grade knife method, is not worth mentioning. 4 times of selection, there is no Zon rank reward with a 1/10 of the lottery rate, and 1 yellow rank reward with a 1/5 lottery rate, which is okay according to the probability. Zhang Chushuan didn't think too much, then stored the Spirit Stone in the system space, and then took out the Tongji Pill. It was found that 1 pill can be consumed, and the consumption can be doubled as follows. 1. Tongji Dan Acura X100. 2. Chong Cave Dan Extreme X10. 3. Xuanwang Chong Cave Pill Extreme X10. The corners of Zhang Chushuan's mouth were slightly upturned. Sure enough, the 100-fold reward system has appeared again. Chong Acupuncture Pill is a yellow tier pill. The medicinal effect is 10 times that of Tongmei Dan, but the value is more than 10 times higher. Xuanwang Chong Acupuncture Pill. Zhang Chushuan has never heard of it, but I think that the rank is the same as the Chong Acupuncture Pill, but the medicinal effect is still very high. The quality of the pill does not affect the efficacy, the difference lies in the amount of erysipelas contained in it. The higher the quality, the less erysipelas. The lower the quality, the more erysipelas. Erysipelas accumulate in the meridians and dantian will affect the speed of cultivation and the use of martial arts, and it will take time to remove. The best elixir does not have erysipelas and can be used indefinitely. Zhang Chushuan did not hesitate and chose 100 Tongjiao pills. This is more cost-effective for the family. Put away the Tongji Dan, he has taken out the Quenching Pill. Found 10 pills that can be doubled, and consume the following rewards. 1. Quenching Dan Top Grade X1000. 2. Quenching Dan Acura X100. 3. Tiger Bone Quenching Pill Top Grade X100. 4. Tiger Bone Quenching Pill Excellent X10. The effect of Tiger Bone Quenching Pill is 10 times that of Quenching Pill, which is double the medicinal effect and quantity. Human Rank Elixir. The best quality is the limit. Tongjiao Dan is the best, and there is no room for improvement in quality, so the doubling option only involves the efficacy and quantity. Quenching Pill is the top quality, doubling the option in addition to the efficacy and quantity, there is also quality. Zhang Chushuan thought for a moment and decided to split it, choosing to replace it with 300 top-grade Quenching Pills and 70 top-grade Tiger Bone Quenching Pills. The exchange of pills is over, and there is still 1 knife method left. If you find a jade simple that can be doubled, you can choose the following rewards for consumption. 1. Human Rank Middle Grade Blood Knife Method, Jade GNX 100. 2. Human Rank Shengpin, Overlord Blood Knife Method, Jade GNX 10. 3. Human Rank Ultimate Blood Sword Method, Jade Jane X1. Don't think about this, Zhang Chushuan decisively chose 3. At this point, all rewards are fully discounted. Zhang Chushuan did not rush to summon Zhang Jingshuan and others to improve their strength, and opened the virtual panel with a thought, looking at the family plate that only he had opened at present. Name: Zhang Chushuan. Identity: the ancestor of the Zhang family. Position: Patriarch. Realm: 4 layers of refining body, originally the 10 layers of refining body general knowledge realm, due to the shattering of Dantian, the decay of chi and blood, and the regression of strength. Combat power: 7. 1%. Chapter 5. I really want to shoot this villain. Add more flowers. Name: Zhang Chushuan. Identity: the ancestor of the Zhang family. Position: Patriarch. Realm: refining body quadruple, originally the refining body tenfold skill realm, due to the shattering of the Dantian, the decay of chi and blood, and the regression of strength. Combat power: refining body sixfold. Exercises: ground level, dragon determination, beginner. Human rank Shengpin Liehu Gong complete. Human rank medium grade Mu Yuanji complete. Martial arts: human rank Shengpin, fierce tiger sword method complete. Rank middle class stone opener complete. Family grade: not into the stream, not into the stream, 9 products to 1 product, 1 product is the highest. Family members: Zhang Chushuan, 65. Big wife: Nangong Mushui, frozen. Second wife: Nangong Lu, 65 years old, refining body ninefold, 5 internal organs. Third wife: Nangong Li, 65 years old, refining body ninefold, 5 internal organs. Second generation. Eldest son: Zhang Jingshuan, 40 years old, refining body 9 layers, 4 internal organs, biological mother Nangong Mushui, can see details. His wife, Xia Jingqiu, 38 years old, refines the 7-fold body. Second son: Zhang Jinhao, XVII, refining body Yaju Luji, biological mother Nangong Lu. His wife Lu Xiaoxiao, 35 years old, refines the 6-fold body. Third son: Zhang Jingxin, XVII, refining body Yaju Luji, biological mother Nangong Lu. His wife Yu Xiaochen, 33 years old, refines the body quadruple. Fourth son: Zhang Jingxin, 35, refining body 6-fold, birth mother Nangong Li. His wife, Qian Kaifeng, 32 years old, refines the quadruple body. Fifth daughter: Zhang Jingxi, 30 years old, refining body 6-fold, biological mother Nangong Li. 3 generations. Eldest grandson: Zhang Yanmo, 18 years old, refining body 6-fold, biological father Zhang Jingshuan. Eldest granddaughter: Zhang Yanren, 16 years old, refining body triple, biological father Zhang Jingshuan. Second grandson: Zhang Yanbi, 16 years old, refining the body 5-fold, biological father Zhang Jinhao. Third grandson: Zhang Yanting, 15 years old, refining the body quadruple, biological father Zhang Jingxin. Little granddaughter: Zhang Yangxin, 13 years old, refining body quadruple, biological father Zhang Jingxin. Family subordinates: Zhang Qinlong, 30 years old, deputy captain of the Outer Courtyard Guard, refines the 6-fold body realm. Zhang Qinhu, deputy captain of the Zhang family mercenary team, 29, refining the body realm 6-fold. Click on the name to see the specific situation and loyalty value. Family treasury: 1,500 taels of gold converted. Family power: Lingxia Town 30%, Shajia Village, Taiyuan County 1%. Family martial arts: human rank Shengpin Liehu Gong. Human rank Zongpin Mu Yuanjiao. Human rank is good. Human rank Shengpin Fierce Tiger Sword Method. Rank Zongpin Stone Opener. Human rank Middle Grade Deciduous Palm. Hostile forces: Lingxia Town Shui Family, Lingxia Town Li Family. Taiyuan County Sun Family, Juku County City Wu Family. P.S. The above panel appears once, and the work is updated from time to time later, does not account for the number of positive words, ask for evaluation votes. Closing parenthesis. Short detailed. Zhang Chushuan's eyes were bright. The family plate is worthy of being produced by the whole people, and all the information of the family is in place. Relying on the panel, the body information of the family members is fully controlled, the loyalty of the subordinates is clearly visible, and the opponent forces are very clear. He had never known the family so deeply. Sure enough, building a family is the way to rise. I have so many resources on my hands now. Then this Lingxia town, as long as there is a voice. Zhang Chushuan's eyes narrowed slightly, and his fingers tapped on the table. Whether it is to obtain more human resources and make the family develop faster, or for the effective use of the avenue-level invincible field, it is urgent to expand the family's sphere of influence. This step needs to be carried out all the time. Zhang Chushuan sat in the first place, alone in his mind perfecting the plan. Until Zhang Jingshuan returned to the hall. Father, you have been notified of your return to the patriarch. Zhang Jingshuan saluted and reported. Chu Zan bowed his head gently. These things, he has long received feedback from the family panel. Jin Zan, the Li family and the Shui family, what step have you reached in the temptation? Zhang Chushuan asked lightly. Only by knowing oneself and knowing oneself can we win 100 battles. Since you are ready to completely occupy Lingxia town, you naturally have to understand the opponent's situation first. When he first arrived, there were 3-century-old families in Lingxia town, namely the Li family, the Shui family, and the Wei family, into a tripod. When he opened the martial arts hall, he was not less targeted by these 3 ground snakes. But relying on ingenuity and left and right sources, as well as some luck, he finally took a thunderous move to eat the Wei family, the youngest of them, and established the Zhang family. Shui and Li and his family also injured their vitality in this battle, and they relented later. But the two never gave up their hostility to the Zhang family. Lingxia town is that big. Can 2 families be divided? Why should there be a third party? In particular, these people who have witnessed the growth of the second generation and the 3 places of the Zhang family, the crisis between the 2 races, and they have become in-laws and allies. Now with Zhang Chushuan's strength regressing, the Li family and the Shui family are ready to move. Today, only 3 core industries are stable. I don't know when, they will go all out. Zhang Jingshuan clenched his fists, his voice full of resentment. After becoming the patriarch, he spent most of his energy fighting against Shui Li and his family. Some things are very clear. Although Lingxia town is a town, it should be placed in the hometown of Zhang Chushuan Earth, which is enough to be a county town. The Zhang family has many industries in Lingxia town, such as restaurants, hotels, weapons stores, etc. But these industries have been divided up by Shui and Li over the years. Today, only 3 core industries of the family are still strong. These 3 core industries, namely the martial arts hall started by Zhang Chushuan, are now held by the second eldest Zhang Jinhao. Then there is a mercenary team, which is in charge of the third elder Zhang Jingxin. Finally, there is a Fang market, which is run by the old 4th Zhang Jingxin, and the pill refined by the old 5th Zhang as the main selling item. Are there only 3 core industries left? Zhang Chushuan's eyes were dark. I haven't paid attention to it for more than a year, but I didn't expect that the family had retreated to this step. But this is not Zhang Jingshuan's responsibility. After all, the Li family and the Shui family combined have 2 refining body 9-folds, 3 refining body 8-folds, and the other side lineage disciples are several times that of the Zhang family. Without the 10-fold suppression of the refining body, it is difficult to fight 1 against 2. Actually, you should rejoice. If the Shui and Li families began to test the Zhang family's third industry, it meant that it was not far from Tukjiang Dagzhen. The other party did not make a move, indicating that it was not completely ready. It also shows that he still has time. As long as the Zhang family has a refining body realm of 10 levels, the crisis can naturally be resolved. Even thinking of this, a smile appeared at the corner of Zhang Chushuan's mouth, and he nodded gently, it's okay. Quote. Zhang Jingshuan. Okay. The family is like this, okay. Does it have to be all gone to be considered bad? Zhang Jingshuan was a little speechless, but after all, he didn't hold back and asked, Dad, are you? Not here. With that, he pointed to his head. Zhang Chushuan's face suddenly turned black, comparable to the bottom of a pot. This reverse son actually questioned that he had a problem in his brain. I really want to slap him to death. 1. 2%. Chapter 6. What is Bunny's daddy? Ask for evaluation votes. How have you been cultivating recently? Zhang Chushuan decided not to deal with Zhang Jingshuan so as not to be angry with himself. The most urgent thing is to develop the family. I just finished quenching my liver yesterday, and I still have the last heart left. Zhang Jingshuan whispered back. Not bad. Zhang Chushuan nodded with satisfaction. He knew that asking was just going down the process. The warrior is on the way. The first step is to refine the body. The realm of refining the body is divided into 10 layers. 1 is solid foundation and peiyuan, 2 is skin refining, 3 is meat refining, 4 is refining tendons, 5 is bone refining, 6 is refining, 7 is blood refining, 8 is refining, 9 is dirty, and 10 are general. After the 10-fold martial artist of the refining body has opened the 36 tricks around the body, he can attract qi into the body, entrench in the dantian, and achieve the gathering spirit realm. The ninefold refining and quenching of the 5 organs are the heart, liver, spleen, lungs and kidneys, and the order is uncertain. Zhang Jingxuan stepped into the 9 layers of refining body 3 years ago, and has completed the tempering of the 3 organs of kidneys, lungs and spleen. Now that you have completed the liver quenching, as long as you refine your heart and open an acupuncture point at will, you can enter the peak of refining your body. Is it the father to blame? Zhang Chushuan suddenly asked. Zhang Jingxuan's face froze, and he smiled bitterly. Don't dare. Quote. Don't dare doesn't mean no. Zhang Chushuan understood and also expressed understanding. Among the 5 children, Zhang Jingxuan has the best talent. If he devoted himself to martial arts, he would have already had the opportunity to step into the 10 layers of the refining body, and he would not have a dirty body that has not been tempered now. Zhang Chushuan made him the patriarch, distracting him too much. But originally Zhang Chushuan couldn't help it. In the 2nd generation of the family, the 2nd and 3rd are martial arts idiots and do not have any talent in management. The 4th elder is talented, but he is born with a disease. His talent is not good, his strength is limited, and it is difficult to convince the public. The 5th is a daughter, and he is addicted to alchemy, which is even more inappropriate. Only the boss, identity, strength, wisdom, all qualified. This is the only option. Of course, as a father, Zhang Chushuan would certainly not say why, even if everyone knew it. Jin Zan, the old man is for the long-term development of the family, and he intends to train you. Zhang Chushuan said seriously. I know, Dad. Zhang Jingxuan nodded, and then cast a, do you think I'm an idiot, look. The corners of Zhang Chushuan's mouth twitched slightly, and he snorted coldly. It seems that I haven't taught you a lesson for too long, and I have forgotten the power of being a father. Quote. Zhang Jingxuan sighed in his heart. It means that now that I am standing there and beating you, you may not hurt me. Zhang Chushuan was a little tired. Sure enough, he shouldn't tell these 4 contrarians too many things and jokes on earth. Take it. Zhang Chushuan threw out a bottle with a black face. Daddy, what's in this? Zhang Jingxuan opened the cap of the bottle and saw a bunch of familiar-looking pills inside. Quenching Dan. Zhang Chushuan's eyes became playful. Oh, quench. Well, quote, quenching Dan. Zhang Jingxuan's hands shook and his eyes widened. If it's just a quenching pill, it's not worth Zhang Jingxuan's gaffe. Among the human rank elixirs, the quenching pill is easy to refine, and the refining materials are not difficult to find, which is not precious. Zhang Jingxi can refine. The success rate is not low, but the quality is not high. The problem is that there are 100 quenching pills in this bottle. The Zhang family's annual income is 1,000 taels of gold, 10,000 taels of silver, and under the condition of ensuring the quality of life, they also buy hundreds of lower-grade quenching pills. And these 100 quenching pills need to set aside some rewards for loyal subordinates, and then distribute them to each core member, and there are not a few at all. Zhang Chushuan casually took out the number of 100 quenching pills. Isn't this scary? At this time, Zhang Chushuan's voice fluttered softly again. Quality is all of the highest quality. 100. Top-grade quenching pill. Zhang Jingxuan was directly confused. The quality of the pill does not affect the efficacy, the difference is how much erysipelas is contained. After taking one pill, regardless of the physical problems of the exercises, it will take at least 30 days to remove the erysipelas accumulated in the meridians. Medium grade half a month. 7 days of top grade. The best elixir, theoretically without erysipelas, can be taken indefinitely. But even in the county town, there is no high-quality pill in circulation on the market, and there is no market. The upper-grade quenching pill is 3/4 less refining than the lower-grade quenching pill. The value is at least 9 times that of the lower-grade quenching pill. Dad casually threw out 1,000 lower-grade quenching pills. Really fake. Zhang Jingxuan was incredulous. Zhang Chushuan was very satisfied with Zhang Jingxuan's expression. Otherwise, your dad is still your dad. You swallow 30 here now to complete the final dirty tempering. No matter how much you explain, it's better to feel it yourself. Regardless of physique and exercises, only use the quenching pill to break through the realm. The day after tomorrow 1 to double need 1, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4 to 4. By analogy, a breakthrough from the 6-fold refining of the body to the 7-fold refining of the refining body requires 32 quenching pills. 64 pieces are needed to break through to the 8-fold refining intestines. There is a difference between refining the intestines and refining the dirt. 20 quenching pills are needed for each refining of the intestines, and 30 pills are needed for each refining of the organs. Swallow 30 directly. Zhang Jingxuan's expression changed slightly, and he hesitated. Won't it be too risky? Quote. Although there are few erysipelas in the top-grade quenching pill, it is also an astonishing number to take 30 pills without stopping. What do you think you can think of, Lao Su? I can't think of. Zhang Chushuan tilted Zhang Jingxuan. That gaze reminded the latter of the fear that had been dominated by fatherly love. I swallow immediately. Zhang Jingxuan sat cross-legged on the ground and took out a quenching pill from the bottle. But before he could swallow, Zhang Chushuan reached out to stop him and handed over a piece of jade jane. Let's start with this exercise. Exercises. Zhang Jingxuan took the jade jane suspiciously and pasted it on the door of his head. In an instant, a flood of information poured in. When he had completely digested the information, he looked at Zhang Chushuan in disbelief. This steps. Quote. Zhang Chushuan laughed and said nothing. Zhang Jingxuan pinched his thigh hard. Hiss, it hurts. Not a dream. First 100 top-grade quenching pills, and then the earth-level exercises, all true. But this Nima is more incredible than a dream. At this moment, the image of Zhang Chushuan in Zhang Jingxuan's heart became even more mysterious. Good son, let's go. Old God Chu Zan took a sip of tea and urged. Zhang Jingxuan no longer hesitated, and immediately swallowed a top-grade quenching pill, while running the transformation dragon determination that he had just mastered. Hualong is a great exercise method under the earth, which is divided into the refining body chapter, the gathering spirit chapter, the transformation spirit chapter, and the Jaden chapter. Among them, the refining body chapter is also known as the snake python, and the refining effect is far stronger than that of ordinary extreme human level exercises. A top-grade quenching pill is refined between breaths. The medicinal power poured into the heart and began to be quenched. When the medicinal power was completely dissolved, Zhang Jingxuan swallowed the second quenching pill. And so on, one after another. At the 10th one, Zhang Jingxuan felt that his heart had been tempered by a third and the meridians were lucky. It's already a little sluggish. At the 20th time, the heart is quenched by 2/3, and the movement of qi and blood in the meridians can feel significantly blocked. With each subsequent one, the blockage in the meridians increases. But Zhang Chushuan did not shout to stop, and Zhang Jingxuan did not stop. Finally, the 30th one. Zhang Jingxuan completely completed the heart hardening. All the 5 internal organs have been quenched, and the 9 layers of refining the body have been completed. Next, you only need to open a blood trick at random, and you can step into the 10 layers of the refining body and become a peak master of the refining body. But Zhang Jingxuan was not happy at all. Old. Zhang Jingxuan hesitated for a moment and wanted to say something. But before he could speak, Zhang Chushuan threw out another bottle. Reach out for the bottle. With the previous 2 experiences, Zhang Jingxuan was prepared in his heart and felt that he could face it calmly. You can open the cap. He is not calm again. Father. Zhang Jingxuan raised his head in shock. Zhang Chushuan smiled lightly. I've only heard about the pit father, but I haven't heard of the pit son. Little bunny cub, you still have to learn. You're right. This is a Tongji Dan. The key to breaking through to the 10 layers of the refining body. Zhang Jingxuan. Daddy, you're a cow. So here's the problem. What is bunny cub's daddy? 2%. Chapter 7. The peak of the refining body realm, conspiracy strikes ask for evaluation votes. You're right. This is a Tongji Dan. The key to breaking through to the 10 layers of the refining body. Is it really a Tongji Dan? Hearing what Zhang Chushuan said, Zhang Jingxuan suddenly realized. His own father has always acted so calmly, and he really has a gap in his heart. Brute force to get through the blood trick is not desirable, and it is extremely easy to be killed violently. The human rank exercises are divided into 4 products, of which the essential difference between the best and the upper grade is whether there is a general know-how. There is a method of general knowledge, and the warrior can open the blood trick step by step and in a specific order. If there is no know-how, there is a know-how pill. A Tongji pill can allow the refining body 9-fold martial artist to randomly sense a blood trick and violently open through. This does not guarantee the success of the know-how, but it does ensure that failure is not at risk of life. And as long as the meridians are not completely blocked, with the method of Tongji with the Tongji pill, a Tongji pill will definitely be able to open a blood trick. After the blood trick is opened, it can attract the spiritual energy of heaven and earth into the body, wash the whole body, and gather the dantian. In this way, the removal of meridian erysipelas can also be much faster. It may take more than 200 days for normal people to remove erysipelas. Using the entry-level dragon skill, Zhang Jingxuan was sure that this process would be shortened to 100 days. Plus Tongji Dan, maybe only a month. Daddy is daddy, incomparably calculated. Worthy of the title of Zhang Lao Thief. Zhang Jingxuan sighed in his heart and admired Zhang Chushuan more and more. If you really only have the wrong name, there is no wrong nickname. Know how. Zhang Jingxuan's eyes froze, and he took out a Tongjiao pill and swallowed it. He couldn't wait to break through to the 10 layers of refining body. There is an essential difference between the peak of refining and the late stage of refining. The latter is only the pinnacle among ordinary people, or mortals. The former has half a foot into the extraordinary, which can use blood tricks to attract the spiritual energy of heaven and earth into the body, supplemented by the spiritual energy during battle, and improve physical fitness and martial arts power. At that time, Zhang Chushuan calculated the 3 major families of Shui Li Wei, which can be described as a fire in the fire. The Wei family fought back at the last moment, causing Zhang Chushuan to fall into a life and death crisis. At the last moment, he swallowed a semi-finished Tongmei pill obtained in the early years, and successfully opened the first blood trick under the oppression of life and death. At that time, Zhang Chushuan became the strongest in Lingxia town. It was also because of this that he was able to replace the Wei family with his 2 wives and suppress the Shui and Li families. And now, this realm has been placed in front of Zhang Jingxuan's eyes, just waiting for him to reach out and poke it. A Tongjian pill is taken. Zhang Jingxuan immediately felt a dull pain at the intersection of the middle line of the top of his head and the connection between the tips of the 2 ears, that is, the upper 7 inches in the middle of the back hairline. This is the Baihui cave to open. He did not hesitate, operated the method of channeling the veins in the dragon gong, and harnessed the power of the veins pill to attack the Baihui acupoint. The impact time did not last long, and with a crisp breaking sound, Zhang Jingxuan keenly felt that his body had changed. Become lighter. At the same time, through the Baihui cave, he could feel the aura in heaven and earth. Those auras poured into his cave like water. So cool. Zhang Jingxuan couldn't help but spit out 2 words. Zhang Chushuan went through this process and understood that he had succeeded, and couldn't help but smile, continue to swallow 5 more pills, and open up 5 more blood tricks. Quote. After each blood trick is opened, it will automatically inhale a certain amount of spiritual energy into the dantian. Except for those with special physiques, normal people can open up to 6 blood tricks a day, otherwise they will be like a balloon pumping too much and bursting to death. Yes, Zhang Jingxuan is a little addicted, of course, there is no objection. However, he was not reckless, but swallowed 5 Tongji pills one after another, opening up the belt pulse point, Hegu point, kidney U point, and large intestine acupoint one by one. With the 6 blood tricks turned on, Zhang Jingxuan could feel that his dantian was somewhat full. After estimating the flow rate of Reiki into his body, he was sure that he would get rid of all erysipelas within a month. But that's just now. He still has 30 Tongji pills that have not been used. If he opens 6 more blood tricks every day in the future, and when all 36 blood tricks are opened, erysipelas is estimated to be cleared on the same day. Thinking of this, Zhang Jingxuan suddenly realized a problem and suddenly looked towards Zhang Chushuan. Father, this is the ultimate Tongji Dan. Quote. After taking all 6 Tongjian pills, there was not the slightest increase in new erysipelas, which already showed the answer. Zhang Jingxuan asked because his heart was too shocked. Tongmei pill is a yellow tier elixir, and it cannot be purchased in the county town where there are gathering spirit realm cultivators, and only the Fucheng city can have quantitative circulation, or the lower quality. This is something that has no price. With the financial resources of the Zhang family, they can't afford one in a year's revenue. As a result, Zhang Chushuan casually took out 36, which is still of the highest quality. Even the big families in the county or even the state don't have the financial resources to cultivate their offspring, right? Incredible. Fantastic. Unimaginable. It's good if you know it yourself. Zhang Chushuan Yun smiled lightly and looked out of the hall. It's dark. Let's have dinner first. After dinner, you bring Jin Hao and them over. Dinner soon began, in an extremely eerie atmosphere. At first, the 2nd and 3rd generations of grandchildren looked at Zhang Chushuan in amazement, wondering why he had returned to the patriarch. But soon, everyone's attention was on Zhang Jingxuan, who was belated. Having just completed the breakthrough, he was still unable to restrain the momentum of the peak powerhouse of the refining body. The 2 Marshall brothers asked for the first time, "Brother, have you broken through?" Quote. In the expectant eyes of everyone, Zhang Jingxuan nodded lightly and said squarely, the specific situation will be finished after eating, go to my father's study and say. Quote. So everyone looked at Zhang Chushuan again. But this, mysterious, ancestor only cared about eating, and everyone had to press their doubts to their hearts. Today, it's definitely the fastest day for everyone to eat. At the same time, the Li family in Lingxia town, in the council hall. Li Mingyi, the head of the Li family, sat on the first place with his eyes closed, and his body was overwhelming. On his right-hand side, sits his eldest son, Li Qiu, the current head of the Li family. Opposite Li Qiu, sitting Shui Wanshan, the old man of the Shui family, Shui Qiming, the current head of the Shui family, and Shui Xiaoqin, Shui Qiming's daughter, is quite a beautiful girl, but with a hostile temper in the corners of her eyes, she does not look like a good person. Shui Wanshan looked Li Mingyi up and down seriously, and said with a hint of uncertainty, Old Li, you broke through. Quote. You see that? Li Mingyi opened his eyes and asked knowingly. The corner of Shui Wanshan's eyes twitched slightly. Your body is unstable this week, and it is obvious that you have just broken through. If you dare to break through, you will urgently notify him to come over, definitely to show off. What's the point of knowingly asking? Ahem, thanks to my grandson. Li Mingyi was a little embarrassed by Shui Wanshan, and knew that he was careful not to hide, so he had to change the topic bluntly. Grandchildren. Shui Wanshan was slightly stunned, then reacted and guessed, Zhaofeng. Quote. Yes, it's Zhaofeng. Shui Wanshan laughed proudly. Zhaofeng has been identified as a wood spirit body, and has been accepted as a close disciple by the great elder of the Burning Incense Valley. He is filial and asks for a tongmei pill for me to bring me one step closer. Not only that, he also said to move his third senior brother to come and wish us a hand. The destruction of the Zhang family is in front of you. 2%. Chapter 8. That's right, the ancestor is the hidden boss. I didn't expect it to be so. After listening to Li Mingyi's words, Shui Wanshan was shocked in his heart. Li Zhaofeng knew that the Li family was the eldest son of the third generation, who showed amazing talent since he was a child, and stepped into the late stage of the refining body realm sevenfold at the age of 15. Such a genius, he had also sent a secret force to assassinate, although the Shui and Li families had already allied at that time. I never thought that this other party actually had a spirit body, and it was a wood spirit body that was more suitable for alchemy. No wonder he would be accepted as a close disciple by the great elder of the Burning Incense Valley, and he could also ask for a tongmei pill. The Burning Fragrance Valley is a 9-pin sect in Qingchuan province, with power spanning 3 county towns, including Dongxing County. The great elder of the Burning Fragrance Valley was named Ding Chuchun, a mid-stage cultivator of the Gathering Spirit realm, and a 9-rank medium-grade alchemist, who could refine yellow-rank middle-grade elixirs. Li Mingfeng can be taken as an apprentice by Ding Chuchun, and his future is bright. The Li family will rise with the tide and have the opportunity to occupy a superior place in the county in the future. These are not said in advance. Li Mingyi has now successfully opened a blood trick, and has become the first master in Lingxia town, so he should not be taken seriously. Thinking of this, Shui Wanshan piled up the wrinkles on his face and complimented, Congratulations brother Li, the Li family has produced such a keener. Quote. In the future, my Shui family will definitely be the head of the Li family, and the Li family is the first family in Lingxia town. Li Mingyi bowed his head gently. He came to Shui Wanshan for this purpose. Lingxia town, the future only needs one voice. That is the Li family, it is him Li Mingyi. The Shui family also needs to be the only one who looks to the Li family. Brother Shui, let's discuss the details of getting rid of the Zhang family next. A trace of fierceness flashed in Li Mingyi's eyes. Old Li, you have broken through to the 10th level of the refining body, can't the two of us join forces and directly push it across? It was Shui Qiming who asked the question. The Li family and the Shui family have been operating in Lingxia town for more than 100 years, not to mention the children of the lineage, and the children of the sideline are more than the Zhang family, not to mention that there are many affiliated forces. As long as there is no problem with high-end combat power, one can suppress the Zhang family in terms of foundation, let alone the union of the two companies. Nope. Li Mingyi shook his head decisively, and a slight fear flashed in his eyes. Old thief Zhang is old and calculating, treacherous as a fox, and calculating, not to be underestimated. Although according to the intelligence analysis we have now, he has died shortly. But as long as he doesn't die, you still have to be careful. If he deliberately hides and finally uses any method to pull us to lose his life, it will not be worth the loss. It is not difficult to see from Li Mingyi's words that he is very jealous of Zhang Chushuan. This jealousy, Shui Qiming and Li Qiu are not difficult to understand at all. But Shui Wanshan was also deeply touched, nodded and echoed. Brother Li is right. Zhang Lao thief has many tricks, let's be careful and there is no big mistake. Quote. Let's take the last step of testing first. Speaking, Shui Wanshan looked at Li Mingyi and wanted to ask him what his opinion was. The latter smiled proudly and said, tomorrow my good grandson will bring back his third senior brother Hu Gongzi. Quote. That young master who is a quasi-9-rank alchemist, we can borrow his hand to conduct a test. High, really high. Shui Wanshan hurriedly gave a thumbs up. Li Mingyi laughed. Subsequently, the two parties began to discuss the details in depth. At the same time, Zhongfu. Backyard council chamber. Zhang Chushuan sat at the top and slowly drank tea. Zhang Jingshuan stood beside him, explained to the others some things that the two had discussed in advance, and took out the Jade Jane, so that everyone could enter the dragon duel. With the family panel present, Zhang Chushuan can probe the loyalty of each family member at any time, and is not afraid that they will have different intentions and divulge family secrets. When everyone successfully entered, Zhang Jingshuan followed Zhang Chushuan's meaning, leaving only 4 second-generation members of the family and 3 generations of eldest grandson Zhang Yanmo. Give. Zhang Chushuan put down his teacup and threw the medicine bottles prepared in advance to the 5 people. Among the 5 bottles, 2 bottles contained 15 tiger bone quenching pills and 6 tongjiao pills, which belonged to Zhang Jinhao and Zhang Jingxin. 1 bottle contained 27 tiger bone quenching pills and 6 tongjiao pills, which belonged to Zhang Jingxi, and 2 bottles each contained 10 top-grade quenching pills, belonging to Zhang Jingxin and Zhang Jinmo. This is. Quote. The 5 people opened the bottle in their hands, their expressions were surprisingly consistent, and they were shocked. Zhang Chushuan took this scene into his eyes and said lightly, I can even take out the great exercises under the ground level, what can the ultimate Tongji pill and the tiger bone quenching pill be? Quote. It's just expensive candy. Pretty reasonable, isn't it? Is it reasonable? The corners of the 5 people's mouths twitched. This kind of heritage, ordinary state-city families do not have it, right? Could it be that their ancestor, the creator of the Zhang family, is actually a hidden boss? No wonder to succeed the patriarch. It's just the right thing to play. The 5 people thought that the key was thought of, and their blood boiled for a while. It turns out that they are the descendants of the big guys. The cowhide is broken. Father, did the eldest brother break through by swallowing the tongjiao pill and the tiger bone quenching pill? Zhang Jingxi's eyes were extremely bright. She is obsessed with alchemy and has a strong desire to study high-grade and high-quality pills. Tiger bone quenching pill. Before Zhang Chushuan could answer, Zhang Jingshuan was the first to wonder. I only swallowed the top-grade quenching pill, Daddy eccentric. 3 tiger bone quenching pills can be done, but to use 30 top-grade quenching pills, is it eccentric? Figure it out for yourself. Zhang Chushuan glanced at Zhang Jingshuan angrily. Certainly not eccentric. Zhang Jingshuan is only 1 heart quenching away from the 10 layers of the refining body, and 30 top-grade quenching pills can be done. Naturally use this, and when he breaks through to the 10th level of the refining body, it is easy to remove erysipelas after opening up more acupuncture points with the tongjiao pill. But Zhang Jingxin, Zhang Jinhao, and Zhang Jingxi can't do it. Jinhao and Jinji need to refine the complete 5 internal organs. If you use a quenching pill, a total of 150 pieces are needed. Not to mention the slow process of swallowing 150 quenching pills. Even if it is only 50, the erysipelas accumulated in it are enough to make the 2 unable to make a breakthrough for life. Therefore, Zhang Chushuan exchanged them for tiger bone quenching pill. The medicinal effect increased tenfold, but the amount of erysipelas was similar to that of quenched pill of the same quality. Then with the 6 Tongji pills, you can soon reach the same height as Zhang Jingshuan. And Zhang Jingxi is still 1 step away from refining the 8-fold body, and he still needs to refine the 6 organs, and he needs the tiger bone quenching pill even more. As for why it is not all exchanged for tiger bone quenching pills, it is naturally to maximize the use of it. It can be used by more people, and it can also be used to cultivate loyal subordinates in the future. Family building is not just about core members. Relying on life, I don't know until the year of the monkey and the horse moon. Although powerful cultivators can live for thousands of years, they can be fast, so why slow down? There are also Zhang Jingxin and Zhang Yanmo. Both of them are the peak of the 6-fold refining body. Even if there is enough pill, it is unrealistic to break through to the 10-fold refining body at one time. Therefore, only give them 10 quenching pills and let them break through to the late stage of refining sevenfold. When there is a chance to get the ultimate quenching pill in the future, it will improve their strength, and other core members will be the same. Zhang Jingxuan couldn't even think about this. He was really a turtle son. Don't ask too much, improve your strength first. There are too many improvements at once, and it will take you a while to get used to it. When you get used to it, this Lingxia town, it's almost possible to surname Zhang completely. 2%. Chapter 9. The Counterattack of the Heavenly Girl. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis. The eldest son, Zhang Jingxuan, refining the body 10 times, 6 tricks. The second son, Zhang Jinhao, refining the body 10 times, 6 tricks. The third son, Zhang Jingxin, refining the body 10 times, 6 tricks. The fourth son, Zhang Jingxin, refining the sevenfold body. 5 daughters, Zhang Jingxi, refining the body 10 times, 6 tricks. Eldest grandson, Zhang Yanmo, refining the body sevenfold. Zhang Chushuan waved his hand and threw in 67 top-grade tiger bone quenching pills, 50 top-grade quenching pills, and 20 high-grade Tongjiao pills. After several hours of refining, the Zhang family has 5 people in the second generation and 1 in the third generation, and the strength has undergone a shocking change. In this way, the comprehensive strength of the family is already a quasi-9-pin family, and it can compete for a place in the county. Zhang Chushuan looked at the 6 people and nodded with satisfaction. Not bad, it meets my expectations. Quote. Next, don't sleep, go to the backyard to practice martial arts, adapt to the skyrocketing strength as soon as possible, and at the same time put the dragon duel with martial arts dragon claw hand and snake step practice. These are 2 human-level ultimate martial arts. Zhang Jingxin and Zhang Yanmo are okay. Their strength has broken through from the 6-fold refining body to the 7-fold refining body, and they can adapt to it in one night. But Zhang Jingxuan's breakthrough from the 9 layers of the refining body to the 10 layers of the refining body, opening up the 6 blood tricks at once, took a long time to adapt. Zhang Jinhao, Zhang Jingxin, Zhang Jingxi even more so. Yes, father. Zhang Jinhao and Zhang Jinchen took the lead. Not being able to perfectly grasp one's own power makes people feel very uncomfortable. The 2 of them are martial arts idiots, and they are very hot about the earth-level exercises and supporting martial arts. Yes, Zhang Jingxuan was very obedient. Got it, Daddy. Zhang Jingxin responded with a bitter melon face. He didn't have the talent to practice martial arts, nor did he like to practice martial arts, but he liked Shangjia. Therefore, the strength is similar to Zhang Yanmo's eldest nephew. Fortunately, Zhang Chushuan was enlightened and did not stop him. Now suddenly pressured, uncomfortable, but unable to refuse. As for Zhang Yanmo, 3 generations of disciples have human rights. Crossers. It feels like you're infining us. Closing parenthesis. Daddy, dear Daddy. I want to study the pill first, do you think it's okay? Zhang rushed to Zhang Chushuan's side, staring coquettishly with wide eyes. As a fantasy version of the house girl, she spends most of the year in the alchemy room refining pills, and practicing martial arts is simply too deadly for her. Zhang Chushuan had a premonition of this scene and decisively refused. No. Quote. Why, did Dad secretly find a concubine, so he didn't feel sorry? Quote. Zhang looked aggrieved. Zhang Yanmo's eyes suddenly widened. It turns out that my own sister-in-law is such a sister-in-law. Zhang Chushuan almost spewed out a mouthful of old blood. Nonsense. Believe it or not, I asked your mother back, eh? Quote. Speaking of his mother, Zhang Jingxi instantly became much more honest, and muttered, oh, then why do you have to ask me to practice martial arts? You don't know. Zhang Chushuan glared at her unhappily. You broke through all the way from the 7th layer of the refining body to the 10th layer of the refining body, and your strength skyrocketed the most, and you usually practiced martial arts the least. Among so many people, you need to adapt the most, you say. Okay. Zhang Jingxi sighed helplessly. She understands the truth, but she doesn't like to practice martial arts. It's all to blame Dad. The pill can obviously be eaten one by one, and the realm can also break through step by step. What's the hurry? As long as the family has a big brother, plus the second brother and the third brother sitting in the town, isn't it good? I suddenly broke through so much, the alchemy is not well controlled, and I can't enter the alchemy room for a long time. Zhang Jingxi felt like a blind student who had discovered Hua Dian. Oh, she leaned in front of Zhang Chushuan and widened her eyes. What else do you have to do? Zhang Chushuan deliberately straightened his face, and he was a little panicked in his heart. Could it be that this natural dumb girl found something? No way. Dad, you deliberately let me leave the alchemist. Zhang said with pride. Zhang Chushuan's expression remained unchanged and he said, I don't know what you're talking about. Quote. Stop pretending. Zhang Jin cherished an expression that I had seen through everything, and hummed, don't think I don't know the bet between you and your mother. Quote. It's all old men and women. What kind of fun to play, betting on new postures, but it's really enough. With a look of disgust, Zhang left the hall with regret. Quote. Facing the strange gaze of his son and grandson, Zhang Chushuan's mouthful of old blood had reached his throat. Let Zhang Jin regret to break through quickly, just want to quickly improve the family's strength without pulling out the seedlings and fueling it. He can also be stronger by the skill of the whole family. The strength is increased quickly, and he has the opportunity to go out of Lingxia town and look for opportunities. How did it get involved in the gambling contract? You can roll for me. Zhang Chushuan waved his hand and sent Zhang Jingshuan and the others away. When only himself was left in the council room, he couldn't help but reach out and drag his chin. It's a pity that I forgot about it without mentioning it. Quote. Lear hopes not to stay in the alchemy room all the time. I bet I can let this girl out. Now it seems to have won. New posture. Zhang Chushuan's eyes gradually became hot. Tomorrow night is just the appointed time. Lear will come back through the secret passage. Looks like a good opportunity. Bang. Thinking of rising, Zhang Chushuan slammed the table. He got up and returned to his room on crutches. At this speed, it is not obvious at all that he is an old man who is about to die. 3%. Chapter 10. Storm is coming. Strike ahead 2,000 flowers plus. Lingxia Town, Shui Fu. In Zhang Chushuan thinking about how live to a green old age. Time. Shui Wanshan and Li Mingyi discussed the details of dealing with the Zhang family, and returned to their own council room with their son Shui Qiming and granddaughter Shui Xiaoqin. Father, why did you finally agree to Li Mingyi's request to let Xiaoqin make Li Zhaofeng's kid a concubine? As soon as he sat down, Shui Qiming couldn't help but ask. Shui Xiaoqin is 18 years old this year, the eldest daughter of the third generation of the Shui family, and Shui Qiming has a pearl in the palm of her hand. If he can marry Li Zhaofeng as a wife, Shui Qiming feels that it is nothing. But if it is a concubine, it is too bullying. Yes, Grandpa, I don't want to be a concubine, and I like Zhang Yanmo. Shui Xiaoqin ran to Shui Wanshan and coquettish. You too, stupid. Shui Wanshan shook his head helplessly and explained. Li Mingyi's wolf ambition, now that his strength has broken through to the 10 levels of the refining body, and he has climbed a relationship with the burning incense valley, our Shui family cannot be hostile to it. Quote. I made Xiaoqin a concubine to show sincerity and let Li Mingyi let down his guard. Then can't we send money and resources? Shui Xiaoqin said urgently. Even if it is to build a relationship, it does not have to be a marriage. He also asked her to be a concubine for that ordinary-looking Li Zhaofeng, which was disgusting to think about. As for what kind of spirit body, alchemist talent, she didn't care at all. Shui Wanshan somewhat regretted that he spoiled this granddaughter too much, and had no wisdom at all. I said, Li Mingyi's wolf ambition, now that he has strength, and has a relationship with the burning incense valley, how can he be satisfied with nesting in this small hill town? It won't take much time for the Li family to settle in Dongxing County in a big way. Our Shui family is temporarily trying to develop, and when the time comes, the design Li family will be destroyed in Dongxing County, then Li Zhaofeng will naturally become the actual controller of Lingxia town. Before that, if you want to reassure the Li family, marriage is imperative. Shui Wanshan laid out his own plan. But Shui Xiaoqin still looked uncooperative. Reluctantly, he sighed and said, marriage is just a formality. Li Zhaofeng was accepted as an apprentice by the great elder of the burning incense valley, and he is bound to go there to live. Quote. If you don't like Li Zhaofeng, I will excuse you to stay in Lingxia town. If you like Zhang Yanmo, just wait for the destruction of the Zhang family and abolish being a slave. Shui Xiaoqin's eyes lit up. She likes Zhang Yanmo, but the latter has always been unapologetic to her. It would be wonderful if he could give it a slave to himself and lick his toes. And to give a genius like Li Zhaofeng a wraparound hat, it feels very good. Thinking of this, Shui Xiaoqin's face flushed and said happily, it's all up to Grandpa to arrange. Quote. It's early the next morning. The golden rooster announces the dawn, and the rising sun rises in the east. Zhang Chushuan came to the backyard to practice martial arts and did some tai chi as usual. Zhang Jingxuan's 6 people were still practicing martial arts, swallowing so many pills in a row, and they were still refreshed after one night. Zhang Chushuan watched for a while after practicing boxing and beckoned the 6 to go back to breakfast together. After eating, continue to go back to the martial arts training ground to practice martial arts. Leaving a word that made Zhang regret tears, Zhang Chushuan returned to the study alone. He wanted to write down the Fierce Tiger skill, the Fierce Tiger sword method, the Mu Yuan technique, the Water Yuan technique, and the stone opener, and then give a 100-fold reward. The blank exercise JGN is not expensive, but Zhang Chushuan can't use it yet. Phew. After a whole morning, Zhang Chushuan finally wrote down the 3 martial arts and 2 martial arts completely. Among them, the stone opener with the lowest number of words, he even wrote silently twice. After doing all this, he took the fire technique in his hands. Ding! I found a book of consumable exercise cheats, and the consumption can be doubled as follows. 1. Human rank Shangpin, Fierce Tiger Gong cheats x 100. 2. Human rank Ultimate Tiger Gong cheats x 10. 3. Yellow rank Lower Pin, Red Yan Tiger Decision cheats x 1. Sure enough, a smile appeared on Zhang Chushuan's face. The situation was the same as he guessed. Books written in volumes can also be consumed by a 100-fold reward. I choose 3. Zhang Chushuan made the choice. The secret code of the Fierce Tiger Gong suddenly disappeared. A thicker cheat book appeared out of thin air, with the Red Yan Tiger pattern depicted on the cover, and the 5 big characters of the Red Yan Tiger duel written on the far left. After getting the Yan Fierce Tiger Showdown, Zhang Chushuan concocted it according to law, and rewarded the Mu Yuan skill, the Water Yuan skill, the Fierce Tiger sword method, and the Stone Breaker a 100-fold. Change 1 copy of the Adult Level Ultimate, Aoki Technique, 1 copy of the Yellow Rank Lower Product, Black Water Technique, 1 copy of the Yellow Rank Lower Product, Red Yan Sword Method, and 1 copy of the Human Rank Best, Open Monument Palm. So far, all 5 exercises have completed a 100-fold quality improvement. But Zhang Chushuan did not stop there, reaching out and picking up the second book of the opening stone. This time, the 100-fold reward system did not appear. Sure enough, Zhang Chushuan wasn't surprised. Obviously, whether it is a jade symbol or a book, the carrier does not affect the 100-fold reward improvement, and each exercise can only be increased a 100-fold once. It is estimated that Hualong Energy spent all the effort to transcribe it, and it could not be rewarded 100 times over. The system does not give the opportunity to exploit loopholes at all. Zhang Chushuan is not disappointed. The core members of the family have the grade skill transformation Dragon Duel, and there are supporting extreme body methods and martial arts in the Dragon Duel, which is enough to use for a long time. And Aoki Technique, Black Water Method, Red Yan Dao Method, and Open Monument Palm are enough for the family to cultivate subordinate forces for a long time. When the strength becomes stronger, you can try to find others. Zhang Chushuan stretched and prepared to open the chat section to see what the dear fellow villagers were busy with. But at this moment, the study door was pushed open with a bang. A young man in a strong costume walked in, looking a little flustered. Patriarch, something happened. Quote. The young man's name is Zhang Qinlong, an orphan adopted and trained by Zhang Chushuan, giving Zhang the surname, one of Qin's own names, commemorating the history of Yanwang. Zhang Qinlong has always been steady, so he served as the deputy captain of the family's main guard. Few things could make him act so nervous. What happened? Zhang Chushuan asked lightly. Within the family, there is nothing he can't solve. Patriarch, it's Fang City, there are many mercenaries who have been poisoned, saying that there is a problem with the grass refined by Miss Fifth. Now a bunch of people have gathered to say, something wrong with the market. Or is it a cherished elixir? Zhang Chushuan smiled disdainfully and put down the brush in his hand. It seems that the Shui and Li families made a move. I thought it would take a while, but I didn't expect to be so impatient. It's okay. Then start today. Lingxia Town, completely surnamed Zhang. P.S. Add more. Kneel and beg everyone to support a wave. A flower and a comment vote of the big ones are all deep for the author Jun. Love. Seeing these data, the author will be full of energy. Kneel and beg. 3%. Chapter 11. Killing on the street, nicknamed Butcher asking for flowers. What should I do if Shui Li and his family provoke? Dry, of course. Zhang Jingxuan's 6 people have not yet adapted to the skyrocketing strength. Then real combat, and other annexation of the town of Lingxia. He is invincible in the whole town. Zhang Chushuan thought clearly and came to the backyard martial arts practice field on crutches. Jin Zan, you and Jing Chu lead a team and bring all the families together. Jin Hao, you and Qin Long together, bring everyone in the escort team together. Respectfully, you go to the west of the city to find Qin Hu and bring the family mercenary team over. Everyone, target, Zhang Jiadantang. Above the Zhang mansion, Zhang Chushuan's breathy voice sounded. In the middle of the sky, the scorching sun tilts to the west, as if to herald something. Lingxia Town, adjacent to the Fierce Beast mountain range to the west, also known as Fierce Beast Town, is one of the 3 important defensive towns in Dongxing County to defend against the fierce beasts in the Fierce Beast mountain range. In the Fierce Beast mountain range, in addition to the fierce beast, there are many elixirs. When there was no large-scale outbreak of beast tides, Lingxia Town had a large population flow in many caravans. The 3 major families of the town, the Zhang family, the Li family, and the Shui family, are located in the north, east, and south of the town, and each controls a Fang city. Only Qixi left many merchants and mercenary groups that made a living exploring the ferocious beast mountain range to station. But today, many mercenary regiments, large and small, led by the captain, came to Beishi and gathered in front of Zhang Jiadan Hall. Zongjia Dantang, as the name suggests, is a place opened by the Zongjia to sell pills in the North Market. Lingxia Town is adjacent to the Fierce Beast mountain range, and there is no shortage of alchemy materials. The Zhang family has Zhang Jingxi, this alchemist middle apprentice, who can refine many middle and lower quality human rank elixirs. Zongjia Dantang's elixir is notoriously cheap in Lingxia Town, accounting for nearly 60% of the town's sales. Zhang Jingxi won the name of a Dan fairy because of his sweet appearance. But at this moment, the front of Zhang Jiadan's hall was filled with all kinds of scolding. What about the person in charge of the Zhang family? Hurry up and speak. Quote. It can't be that you absconded in fear of sin, right? The monk who ran can't run the temple. I think it's discussing countermeasures. Do you dare to use force? So many of us are not vegetarians. Quote. Yes, I believe that the Li family and the Shui family will also do justice. So many of us were poisoned together, and we all came from different mercenary teams. It can't be to blackmail you, right? That's right. What about Zhang Jingxin and Dan Ferry? Quickly ask them to come out and give an explanation. Fart Dan Ferry. My brother will be poisoned. It must be that she refines the poison pill with shoddy charging. I think it is almost the same as calling the poison witch. Quote. Quote. The scene suddenly fell silent. Even a few poisoned people suppressed their moans. Everyone looked at the person who said that Zhang Jingxi was a poisonous witch. A middle-aged fat man. They came here to say, and they still dared to come because of the large number of people united, but they did not mean to tear their faces with the Zhang family. This fat man is simply ignorant and fearless. The eyes of the crowd were admiring and pitying. How, what's wrong? Quote. The fat man was looked at with a little weakness. Didn't everyone get the script Zhang Jiadantang to coax? What did he say wrong? Nothing. It's just that you've acted. A voice came from outside the crowd, unusually indifferent. The crowd quickly separated automatically and split into 2 rows. A group of people are coming in a fierce manner. Zhang Chushuan led the way, striding forward on crutches. Behind him, the 3 teams were clearly divided. On the far left, Zhang Jinhao is the leader, and a team of people wearing uniform light armor is the Zhang Fu nursing home team. On the far right, Zhang Jingxin is the leader, and a team wearing a uniform is the Zhang family mercenary team. In the center, led by Zhang Jingshuan, are the members of the Zhang family who are dressed differently. The 3 teams have one thing in common. On the left chest of the clothes, a big character is engraved. Shish. The leaders of the major mercenary regiments are magical, some are suspicious, some are livid, and some have inexplicable expectations. The Zhang family all came, and even the subordinate forces poured out. Could it be that he knows that he can't be good, and is ready to use force to suppress people? Or is there something else hidden? You said my daughter was a poisonous witch. Zhang Chushuan took all this into his eyes, his expression did not change, and he waited until he walked in front of the fat man before speaking again. Duh. The fat man was frightened by Zhang Chushuan's eyes, and his legs not only trembled. I just want justice. The fat man said stiffly. Get justice. Yes. Zhang Chushuan nodded. His gaze swept over the group of poisoned people lying on the ground, and he asked, then you tell me, which one is your relative and friend? Quote. The fat man's expression froze, and it was obvious that no one could answer. I am seeing the uneven road, and I am helping. The fat man continued to have a hard mouth. The road is uneven. Help. It's really a good quality that there can be such a person in the Schwantian continent. Zhang Chushuan stretched out his hand and applauded, praising in a mocking tone. When he put his hand down, he spoke indifferently. Kill. Be neat. Boom, boom. The sound of the long knife being unsheathed sounded. Many people only saw a flash of silver light. By the time he reacted, there was already an additional figure beside Zhang Chushuan. Is Zhang Chushuan's second son, Zhang Jinhao? Tick. Answer. Zhang Jinhao still maintained the action of holding a knife and slashing, and blood flowed from one side of the blade to the tip of the knife, and then dripped to the ground. Countless people were shocked, and they looked at the fat man with hindsight. Poof. The fat man's body shook and he lay down on the ground weakly. There was a visible blood mark on his neck. This is a knife to seal the throat. Shish. Countless people gasped. That's too crisp, isn't it? Don't agree with a word, start killing. Even in this fantasy world, this is a bit too much. On the bright side, there is still a dynastic law, and there is a cultivation world there. Many people looked at Zhang Chushuan. At this moment, they remembered the nickname that this person had not mentioned for many years. Butcher. Back then, the head of the Wei family once spoke ill about Zhang Chushuan taking a concubine, and later he slaughtered half of the Wei family by himself. Before being called Zhang Lao thief, he is also called a butcher. 3%. Chapter 12. Let you calculate and I'll break it asking for flowers. The appearance of a corpse made the audience extremely silent. After a long time, a middle-aged man stood up, arched his hand to Zhang Chushuan and said, Old man Zhang, have you done this a little too much? Quote. Recognizing the identity of the middle-aged man, many people showed admiration. There are nearly 100 mercenary regiments stationed in the west of the city, of which the strongest 10 mercenary regiments are called the top 10 mercenary teams. The Zhang family, the Shui family, the Li family, and the 3 mercenary regiments ranked 2nd, 3rd, and 4th respectively. The middle-aged man's Red Dragon mercenary group is the first. And the middle-aged man, named Li Cheng, is the founder and Tuanzi of the Red Dragon mercenary group, a strong man at the peak of the 9-fold refining body realm, perfect in refining, and may break through the 10-fold refining body at any time. There have been many people secretly discussing that Li Cheng will be the second Zhang Chushuan. Li Cheng has his own set of rules, plus his strength is strong, and he is very respected. Excessive. If it's just a bad mouth, of course, the palm of the mouth is enough. But he harbors evil intentions and harbors ill intentions towards my Zhang family, so of course he will kill him. Zhang Chushuan also admired Li Cheng, so he patiently explained a few words. Just because he said bad things about the Dan Ferry. Li Cheng frowned, puzzled. Hee. Zhang Chushuan chuckled and didn't explain further. His eyes swept around, and finally stopped at a tea house on the left directly opposite Zhang Jiadan Hall. Shui Wanshan, Li Mingyi, are you still ready to continue watching the play? Zhang Chushuan faded out. Shui Wanshan, Li Mingyi. Isn't that the name of the old man of the Shui family and the old man of the Li family? They are coming too. Everyone present looked at the tea house in unison. Bang! The tea house was pushed away, and a group of people boomed out. The old man of the Li family, Li Mingyi, walked in the front, Shui Wanshan stood with Li Qiu a little behind, and then Shui Qiming. This position made Zhang Chushuan's eyes narrow. Ha ha ha, brother Zhang. Li Mingyi arched his hand towards Zhang Chushuan and laughed. Brother Shui and I are drinking tea here, and I didn't expect to see you so excited. Quote. Your family's Dantang has this incident, you don't give an explanation to the injured, why did you kill people? Li Mingyi had a little blame in his voice. Looking at this posture, it seems that he is speaking for the wounded. Many people's eyes changed slightly. Zhang Chushuan seemed to be smiling and said lightly, if it is really my Zhang family who has done something wrong, I naturally have to give an explanation, but if someone intends to plant a bribe, my Zhang family will not admit it. Quote. Brother Zhang, what do you mean by that? Li Mingyi's expression did not change. His eyes swept over several poisoned people, and he pretended to be puzzled. Listen to you, these people pretend to be poisoned to frame you. Quote. This statement is clearly provocative. The atmosphere of the scene suddenly sank. The expressions of several family members and friends of the poisoned people became ugly. To be a mercenary, you are to pin your head to the waistband of your trousers to live and gain the future. Every mercenary is the pillar of the family, a good man. Dying in the fierce beast mountain range, these people think they are destined, but if they are poisoned, they are unwilling. The poisoned people this time are also all over the major mercenary groups, and if the Zhang family does not deal with it properly, it will provoke all the mercenary groups to jointly target, and they will not be able to please in the future. Xiao Shui, Xiao Li, rare, you have also learned wisely. Zhang Chushuan nodded, his tone quite appreciative, still in the tone of an elder. He's not taking advantage of that. When Zhang Chushuan first arrived in Lingxia town, his opponents were not Shui Wanchen and Li Mingyi, who were the same age as him, but their respective fathers. Rao is so, he also made a world in Lingxia town. Therefore, Zhang Chushuan's peers are somewhat afraid of him. And this sudden scene made the atmosphere of the scene stagnate. Zhang, Li Mingyi's mouth moved slightly, as if he wanted to say something. But before he could speak, Zhang Chushuan suddenly shook his hand and threw a bottle to Li Cheng. Master Zhang, this is. Li Cheng held the bottle blankly. You should recognize the contents inside. First give your 3 poisoned group members to serve. Zhang Chushuan did not explain. This is. Li Cheng opened the bottle and sniffed, his eyes suddenly widened. He looked at Zhang Chushuan sharply, his face full of disbelief. Hey, Zhang Chushuan said only one word. Li Cheng showed a pitying look, but still did as he said. Under the curious gaze of countless people, he took out 3 dark green pills from the bottle and stuffed them into the mouths of the 3 poisoned people behind him. Poof! The pill entered the body, and the 3 poisoned people instantly spewed out a mouthful of black blood. The black blood landed on the ground, and it also made a clanging sound, accompanied by a rancid smell. The complexion on the faces of the 3 recovered at a speed visible to the naked eye. Dango! The 3 poisoned people got up from the ground and held their fists towards Li Cheng. Look at this, it's actually completely better. Many people find it incredible. Before these poisoned people came to Zongjiadan Hall, they all looked for a doctor, but as a result, they could not even diagnose anything, let alone heal them. As a last resort, everyone came together to ask the Zhang family for an explanation. But now, Zhang Chushuan has solved it easily. Li Cheng nodded at the 3 members and said, if you want to thank you, you are also thanking Elder Zhang. Quote. But the old man took out the grass and returned the pill to you to take. Yellow rank pill, I have not taken it before you regiment leader. Li Cheng's tone carried a hint of envy. Hiss. The sound of pumping air suddenly sounded in the crowd. Yellow rank pill, grass to pill. Many people never see it in their entire lives. Zhang Chushuan actually took out 3 to save people, and he didn't even know how to stop. People with brains reacted. The poisoning incident must have another hidden situation. Otherwise, Zhang Chushuan is not stupid, how can he waste the yellow order pill? In this regard, Zhang Chushuan's face did not change, as if he took out not a yellow tear elixir, but 3 candies. He looked at Li Mingyi and Shui Wanchen and said lightly, Xiao Li, Xiao Shui. Quote. How? 3%. Chapter 13. Evidence. I Zhang Chushuan do things, no need. Opening parenthesis closing parenthesis. Who am I? I'm Li Mingyi. Where am I? I was in front of Zongjiadan Hall in Lingxia town. What did I do? I got news that last night Zhang Chushuan Zhang Lao thief summoned all the 2nd generation members of the Zhang family home, and they did not come out until noon today. I suspect that Zhang Lao thief has reached his limit, and I can't wait for Hu Gongzi to help refine a special poison pill, poisoning many mercenaries who buy medicine in Zhang Jiadantang. My plan succeeded, and all the mercenary groups gathered in Zhang Jiadan Hall to ask for explanations. What am I experiencing? I think the Zhang family is going to get cold soon. As a result, Zhang Chushuan actually came in person, and brought the whole family with him. Zhang Chushuan also took out pills to treat the poisoned. The poisoned one is fine. I thought it was Hu Gongzi's poison that was unreliable. Unexpectedly, the shameless Zhang old thief did not talk about martial virtue, and actually used a yellow rank pill. It's simply a dimensionality reduction blow. Damn it. This old thief must have a conspiracy. Xiao Li, Xiao Shui, how's it going? Zhang Chushuan looked at Li Mingyi and Shui Wanchen, his eyes were not wavering. First, let the members of the large mercenary group in Lingxia town be poisoned, and then secretly instigate and guide them to threaten the Zhang family for testing. Presumably, to test the result, is to wrap up the general trend and strike with righteousness. At that time, the name is justified and smooth, and the heart of the mercenaries in Lingxia town is also collected. It is obvious to kill with a knife. Shui Li and his family have learned wisely. The means of planting and framing are also very clever. But these are the rest of his Zhang Chushuan playing. If he is willing, he will definitely be able to find a loophole and exonerate the Zhang family. But it's not necessary. 2 dying people, why waste time and cannons? Let you calculate, I will break it by myself. The key to Shui Li's 2 family moves lies in poison. No matter how powerful this poison is, it will not reach the yellow rank. Otherwise, the mercenaries in the early or middle stage of these forces would have died early. And the Li family will not break this wealth. Wangjaden herb is also Dan, which can easily solve these poisons. This grass return pill is worth a lot in the eyes of ordinary people, but for him Zhang Chushuan, it is just to ask Zhang Jing to come with 100 self-refined human-grade mid-grade detoxification pills, and then reward them 100 times, just fine. How easy is it to break the game directly? It seems that what Brother Zhang said is true, if someone is really calculating behind his back. Li Mingyi's eyes narrowed, and the momentum around him loomed, and he said in a deep voice, our 3 major families in Lingxia town are in the same spirit, and behind the scenes, they don't put us in their eyes. Quote, my Li family will definitely help Brother Zhang find out this ambitious person. My Shui family is the same. Shui Wanshan followed closely and echoed. Zhang Chushuan heard it and almost applauded. The acting skills of these 2 old guys are also honed. It seems that this is the backhand after testing another result. Woe to the water. Can fool ordinary people. For example, now, passers-by and mercenaries around are talking to each other, and the direction of discussion is to find out the ambition of the wolf's son. No one would suspect that this was the Li family and the Shui family secretly harming the mercenaries and then calculating the Zhang family. Even if someone doubts, they will pretend not to know. Some things, although everyone knows it, but do not pick it, but they have always been peaceful. Zhang Chushuan smiled flatly, did not pay attention to Li Mingyi, but turned to Li Cheng and said, Chief Li, the poison on several other people should also be solved. Quote. Li Cheng hesitated and did not refuse. Li Cheng is willing to do it for you. Under Zhang Chushuan's gaze, Li Cheng poured out 6 grass return pills from the bottle again, walked to the 6 poisoned people, and fed them. All 6 of them spat out a mouthful of black blood, and then quickly recovered. The yellow order pill is really domineering. Everyone who already knew what the pill was, showed envious expressions, and some people's eyes even flashed greed. But the Zhang family is here, and no one dares to do anything. But soon, many people showed strange expressions. Just because Li Cheng didn't continue after feeding the 6 people. But there are also 2 poisoned people in the mercenary team, one from the Li family and the other from the Shui family mercenary team. Li Cheng, what do you mean by this? Li Mingyi frowned slightly and asked. Li Cheng didn't answer, just looked at Zhang Chushuan. Ha ha ha. Zhang Chushuan, who had always been calm, suddenly raised his head and laughed. It took a while before he stopped and said, Xiao Li, just said that you have grown up, how come you haven't seen through Li Cheng yet? Quote. It's just a bitter meter. He knows that the remaining 2 pills for the 2 of you will be wasted. After all, even if you detoxify, you have to die. Quote. Boom, boom. As Zhang Chushuan's last word, death, accompanied by the aura of blood killing fell, everyone in the Zhang family pulled out the long knife at the waist at the same time, and their movements were neat and consistent. A layer of Jinj aura hovered over this main street in Beishi. Zhang Chushuan, what do you mean? Li Mingyi's pupils shrank, and he shouted angrily. He knew that the 2 sides would definitely have this day, but he didn't think that it was the Zhang family who took the initiative to launch it, or whether it was in the hands of Zhang Chushuan. The core high level of his Li family and Shui family were present, but his subordinates did not bring them. Zhang Chushuan attacked at this time, which was not good for them. Could it be that old thief Zhang deliberately drilled for me? Li Mingyi's heart tightened. Otherwise, why can you take out grass and return pills so coincidentally? I have to say that Li Mingyi was also frightened by Zhang Chushuan, and the bureaus he arranged could be made up like this. Do it. Zhang Chushuan spoke out indifferently and gave Li Mingyi an answer with practical actions. The Zhang family escort and mercenary team immediately separated, and under the leadership of Zhang Jinhao and Zhang Jingxin, they surrounded Li Mingyi and the others in a siege manner. Li Mingyi's palms were cold and he said angrily, Zhang Chushuan, do you want to start an all-out war? Quote. Didn't you open the head? The poisoning incident is not the handiwork of your Shui Li family. Zhang Chushuan stood in place and spoke indifferently. What evidence do you have? Li Mingyi naturally would not admit this. There are also victims watching from the side. Evidence. Zhang Chushuan looked sarcastic. Zhang Chushuan do things, I don't need evidence. 4%. Chapter 14. the strongest man under the ridge, that's all. I Zhang Chushuan do things, I don't need evidence. Zhang Chushuan's voice sounded, causing many people's expressions to change slightly. This statement is inevitably too overbearing. But looking at the saber rattling on the street, no one spoke. A premonition rose in the hearts of many people. This Lingxia town, I'm afraid it's going to change. Get out of the way. Many people saw that the situation was wrong, stepped aside and stood on both sides, and some people hid in the building house. No need for evidence. Li Mingyi was laughed at by Zhang Chushuan. What you Zhang Chushuan said is evidence. Think you're the king of the Yu kingdom. Zhang Chushuan, do you think you are still the same as you were? Your time has long passed. Seeing that the situation could not be eased, Li Mingyi did not retreat and took a step forward. Bang! The feet fall to the ground and are embedded directly in the granite. A layer of golden aura appeared around Li Mingyi. He finally stopped hiding and released the momentum of a peak martial artist of the refining body realm. Refining body tenfold. The onlookers' pupils shrank. Although they had never eaten pork, they had seen many pigs run. Li Mingyi, the old man of the Li family, actually stepped into the 10 layers of the refining body. In this realm, only Zhang Chushuan has stepped into the entire Lingxia town in the past 100 years. It is thanks to this that Zhang Chushuan was able to establish the Zhang family today. Zhang Chushuan, dare to fight. Li Mingyi launched an invitation to Zhang Chushuan. Although I don't know why this has developed into the current situation today. But Zhang Chushuan's loss of qi and blood is undoubted. I was worried that he still had whole cards before, but with his strength at the peak realm of refining his body, there was no need to be afraid at all. Hee, Zhang Chushuan, are you afraid? Seeing that Zhang Chushuan was indifferent, Li Mingyi laughed out loud. The first strong man in Lingxia town in the past, butchered Zhang Chushuan. I didn't expect that there would be a day when I didn't dare to fight. Looking at the title of the first strong man in Lingxia town, it is about to change owners today. Li Mingyi knew that Zhang Chushuan valued face the most, and constantly made provocative remarks, trying to provoke him to strike. Li Pifu, die. Zhang Chushuan never spoke, and even closed his eyes. The answer to Li Mingyi was Zhang Jingshuan's knife. Don't measure yourself. Li Mingyi smiled contemptuously, clenched his left hand into a fist, and swung out his internal strength. Zhang Jingshuan, only one step away from the 10 layers of the refining body, has a bit of talent. But in front of the 10 layers of the refining body, although it is not an ant, it is not enough to see it all. Boy, let me teach you a lesson. Golden Sans Fist. Li Mingyi used the family inheritance exercise Golden Silk Tang, and inhaled the spiritual energy with the blood trick. This palm broke away from the height of the martial artist of the refining body realm. The surface of Li Mingyi's fist formed a golden fist that was visible to the naked eye, with a sense of fragmentation. This is a golden martial art combined with a palm of aura, and ordinary refining body realm martial artists are absolutely unable to resist. Li Mingyi seemed to have seen the scene where the long knife was destroyed and Zhang Jingshuan was shot away. The corners of the mouth moved slightly. But without waiting to laugh, his expression suddenly changed. Prick. The fist strength collided with the fiery red knife qi, like cold ice touching fire, and quickly disappeared. The side that disappears quickly is the fist strength. The burning sensation coming from the fist made Li Mingyi finally realize that something was wrong. The first trick he opened was the fountain cave, located on the soles of his feet. This saved his life temporarily. Fei Yanbu. Li Mingyi used his body's qi and blood with all his might, and at the same time frantically absorbed the external spiritual energy and performed footwork. With the dual help of qi, blood and aura, his body retreated violently, narrowly avoiding Zhang Jingshuan's slash. But his fist failed to dodge, and he was injured by the knife qi, becoming bloody and black. Bang! Li Mingyi couldn't care about the pain coming from his hand, and continued to use his blood qi and spiritual power, cooperating with footwork to dodge. A trail of afterimages was immediately left on the street. Seeing this, Zhang Jingshuan poured spiritual energy into the soles of his feet to increase his speed, and chased after him with a long knife. One after another, the fiery red knife slashed down, constantly compressing Li Mingyi's activity space. He was in danger in several places. Shish! Everyone gasped inside. I thought that the old man of the Li family broke through the 10 layers of the refining body and was going to kill all sides today. I didn't want to pretend that I couldn't force it, and I was completely suppressed as soon as I made a move, and I could only passively run away and dodge. But depending on the situation, it will not last long. Obviously, Zhang Jingxuan is stronger than Li Mingyi. At least a peak martial artist of the refining body realm. In addition to Zhang Chushuan, the Zhang family actually reached the peak of the second refining body realm. Hidden so deeply. And unlike Li Mingyi, who is already old, Zhang Jingxuan can be in his prime. Once a Zhang Chushuan created the current Zhang family. So with Zhang Jingxuan sitting in the town, where is the future of the Zhang family? Many people's minds are rushing. But things have changed far more than they imagined. How is that possible? You've got through more than one trick. Evading Zhang Jingxuan's stab again at the cost of the entire left arm being scrapped, Li Mingyi realized a terrifying truth. He hid desperately, not hesitating to hurt the origin of qi and blood. But Zhang Jingxuan's face was not red and breathless, and he only used the speed of the aura increase to catch up with him. This means that Zhang Jingxuan is surpassing him in opening the blood trick. You're only finding out now, but it's too late. Zhang Jingxuan suddenly stopped and did not continue to strike. Li Mingyi felt something and looked around. The next moment, his eyes were shattered. Shui Wanshan didn't know who cut him off, and the head fell to the ground, his eyes widened, and he couldn't die. Shui Qiming and Li Qiu were trampled under their feet by Zhang Jinhao and Zhang Jingxin respectively, and they were already dead depending on the situation. The other family members and mercenary group members also fell in a pool of blood. Qiu, Venusia, quote, ah, yes, quote, I saw my two sons killed. White-haired people send black-haired people. Li Mingyi threw his head back and let out a painful roar. His eyes suddenly turned blood red, and his fierce gaze swept around. There is no greater mourning than heart death. Two sons were killed, and seeing that he had no chance to live anymore, he simply did not live. But before he died, he must pull someone on his back, so that Zhang Lao Thief would not feel good. That's you. Li Mingyi finally locked his eyes on Zhang Jingxi. The two are not far away, and the latter is still Zhang Chushuan's beloved daughter, which is just right. Na life come. Li Mingyi did not hesitate to burn the qi and blood in his body, and use the blood trick to inhale the spiritual energy to perform footwork. His speed was a little faster than before, and in the blink of an eye, he came to Zhang Jingxi and threw a punch. But the next moment, he only felt a sound of breaking the air, and the whole person flew out upside down at a faster speed than when he came. Then came Zhang Jingxi's slightly speechless voice. The strongest man in Lingxia town, that's all. Burst. Li Mingyi spewed out a mouthful of old blood. 4%. Chapter 15. Blood washes two families, and the town of Lingxia changes to the sky 4,000 flowers plus more. Poof. With a mouthful of blood floating in the air, Li Mingyi flew out upside down, and did not begin to fall until he was almost in front of Zhang Chushuan, lying on the ground like a puddle of mud. Shish. Everyone gasped. I don't know how many times they've done it today. Only then did they react. During the period when Li Mingyi evaded Zhang Jingxuan's attack, the Zhang family solved the Li family and Shui's family present with a thunderous force. They had been attracted by the battle between Li Mingyi and Zhang Jingxuan and did not notice the situation. But this also shows that the strength of the Zhang family is too strong and the shot is too fast. From the Zhang family's action to the killing of Shui Li's two families at the scene, the whole process did not even use the time to drink tea. This the old man of the Shui family, the current head of the family and the head of the mercenary group are all dead. Quote. The head of the Li family and the head of the Li family's mercenary group are also dead. It's all a stab to death. Too fast, what's going on? A lot of people don't understand what's going on. It's Zhang Jinhao and Zhang Jingxin, they are also the peak of refining body. There are also people who have seen the whole process and give answers. But no one dares to believe this answer. The Zhang family. There are actually 3 peak martial artists who refine their bodies. No, there is also the Dan Fairy Zhang Jingxi. Being able to hit Li Mingyi with a hard palm, Zhang Jingxi is also the peak of the refining body realm. In other words, of the 5 people in the second generation of the Zhang family, 4 of them are actually the peak of the refining body realm. In the past, Lingxia town could not produce a single peak martial artist of the refining body realm, but at this time, 5 appeared at once, and one of them was still from a family. Shish. Everyone took another breath of air to barely keep calm. One is the peak of the refining body realm, and the Zhang family is going to heaven. Many people looked at the place where Zhang Chushuan was standing in the middle of the street. At this time, thinking about what he just said, it seems that it is not so overbearing. 4 peak powerhouses of the refining body realm. It is enough to make the Zhang family a well-deserved first family in Lingxia town. Poof. On the ground, Li Mingyi spewed out a mouthful of blood again. Relying on the Yongquan cave to absorb the aura, he recovered some physical strength slightly, and barely got up with one hand. Old thief Zhang, it's you who calculate. You deliberately lured me to make a move, but in fact, you have already laid down the game. 4 refining body peaks, you hide so deeply. I hate it. Li Mingyi's long white hair was scattered, and his eyes were bleeding. At this moment, he felt that he had found the truth. The Zhang family has 4 peak powerhouses of the refining body realm, and Shui Li is not an opponent at all. He plotted a loneliness. The Zhang family has been waiting for them to deliver to the door. The front allows them to cannibalize the industry, which is a paralysis. It's a frog boiled in warm water. Zhang Chushuan was indifferent, as if he hadn't heard. What else to let him say? Say that he is a traverser. The system is finally here, and it comes with a 100-fold reward. My Li family will definitely die today. But I won't let you feel better either. Ignored by Zhang Chushuan, Li Mingyi looked like a mad demon, and suddenly reached out and took out a black pill from his cuff and swallowed it in one gulp. Boom. When the pill entered the body, Li Mingyi's body secreted a layer of blood beads, and the blood beads instantly atomized and turned into blood mist. Li Mingyi quickly turned into a bloody man, shrouded in blood mist. He swallowed the violent blood pill. Someone exclaimed, "Violent blood pill, a yellow rank superior elixir, can open 12 blood tricks in the body at will after swallowing, and lasts for 1 incense. After a simmer of incense, the pill swallowing will have the meridians broken, and the 7 tricks will bleed to death." Li Mingyi knew that he would not survive, and wanted to pull people on his back before he died. Zhang Chushuan, give me a funeral. Li Mingyi stomped on the ground, and the whole thing swept towards Zhang Chushuan like a cannonball. It was none other than Zhang Chushuan who was going to pull the cushion back. Golden Sand's fist. Li Mingyi fused the blood, aura, and strength of his whole body into his right fist. When he fought with Zhang Jingshuan, the amount of this fist aura increased 12-fold, and the qi and blood did not count the cost. A huge golden fist the size of a human figure appeared in the void and pressed down towards Zhang Chushuan. Many onlookers showed surprise. This punch is too strong, and they all have an unrivaled feeling of being invincible and mortal when they stand on one side. So what is the experience of Zhang Chushuan, who is facing this punch? Native chicken tile dog. Zhang Chushuan opened his eyes sharply and silently turned on the whole clan concentric skill. Suddenly, a powerful force gushed out from the depths of the body and filled the whole body. This force is more than 10 times stronger than in its heyday. But he can control it perfectly. Stone opener. Zhang Chushuan's 5 fingers merged into a palm and fluttered out lightly. Boom. An earth-colored giant palm condensed with spiritual energy appeared out of thin air and grabbed towards Li Mingyi. Boom. Li Mingyi's powerful punch was nothing in front of this palm. The earth-colored giant palm easily slapped the golden fist and pushed forward. Poof. The sound of breaking the air sounded. Li Mingyi flew out upside down, spitting blood at his mouth, stunned. Half of his Li family's background was exchanged for this moment of violent blood pill, which he regarded as the last hole card. Although he would soon die, he felt more powerful than ever. But all this is not worth Zhang Chushuan's light punch. God is so unfair. Li Mingyi looked up to the sky and roared, spewing out a mouthful of blood again. He directly gave up resistance. The earth-colored giant palm advanced, and his body was embedded in a wall next to him, turning into a pool of blood. Quote! The audience is silent, and the falling needles can be heard. Many people have respiratory stagnation. Zhang Chushuan told them with practical actions that in the face of absolute strength, everything is a local chicken and a dog. Even Zhang Jingshuan and the others, who had expected it, were shocked in their hearts. My own father is really fierce. Still better than them. Daddy deserves to be daddy. Boring. Zhang Chushuan withdrew his hand and spat out 2 words. Then, he looked at Zhang Jingshuan and the others, and said lightly, Jingshuan and Jingxi led the clan members to the Li family. Quote. Jin Shin and Jin Hao lead a team and go to Shui's house. Remember, we do not accept surrender. The implication is implications. Kill them all. 4%. Chapter 16. The man who knows the time is Junji. Ask for votes. Yes. The sound of commanding orders resounded in the streets. Zhang Jingshuan, Zhang Jinhao, Zhang Jingxin, and Zhang Jingxi are all peak martial artists of the refining body realm who enlighten the 6 tricks, and it may not be possible to block 10 refining body 9-fold martial artists with 1 block, but 1 against 5 is not a problem. Coupled with the fact that the strongest combat power of the Li family and the Shui family and some of the main forces have died here, the strongest people in the family are probably some eightfold elders of the refining body. Even if there is still a whole card background, it is within control. There will be no accidents with 4 people leading the team to shoot at the 2 companies. On the street, the Zhang family left in droves, and soon only Zhang Chushuan was left. But no one dared to despise him. This one slapped Li Mingyi to death in the strongest state with a light palm. Killing them is not much different from killing pigs and dogs. The first strong man in Lingxia town is still the first strong. Shui Li and his family are just clowns. No one knows that Zhang Chushuan does not really have it, but uses skills to temporarily possess it. However, there is no cooldown for skills, and there is no difference between owning them and owning them. Moreover, Zhang Jiadantang is on the side, belonging to the family sphere of influence. As long as he enters, he can open the invincible realm, even if the ancient emperor comes without fear at all. Li Cheng. Zhang Chushuan suddenly turned around and looked at Li Cheng. Old man Zhang. Li Cheng clasped his hands into fists and saluted respectfully. It is impossible that the people of the Li family and the Shui family are all in the mansion. Some fish that slipped through the net. Can you Chelong mercenary group do it for you? Zhang Chushuan asked in a kind tone. The Li family and the Shui family have operated in Lingxia town for hundreds of years, and there are many forces and people attached to them. Of course, these people do not need to be completely destroyed. But among them, die-hard loyalists must be eliminated. Li Cheng understood the deep meaning of Zhang Chushuan's words, his heart tightened, and his thoughts turned. If he responded, he would completely tear his face with the Shui and Li families, and from now on he could only wear a pair of pants with the Zhang family in Lingxia town. If it was before a scent of incense, he would hesitate to join the tri-clan strife. But now this is not something to consider. The Zhang family's side is enough to overthrow the 2 alliances of Shui and Li, and it is completed with absolute superiority, and it is the same whether there is a Red Dragon mercenary group or not. He hesitated because he heard something in Zhang Chushuan's words. Rather than asking him if he would like to do it for him, it was better to ask him if he would like to join the Zhang family. On the side of the bed, you will not allow others to snore. In the past, the 3 families checked and balanced each other, and there was still a weak side that could survive in the cracks. But in the future, Lingxia town will be ruled by the Zhang family, and naturally it will not be willing to divide the benefits. Willing to divide, also because there is a bigger scheme. Do I have a chance to refuse? Li Cheng asked himself, as if he couldn't refuse. Shui Li and his family are not opponents of the Zhang family. How can the Chelong mercenary group use the mantis arm as a car? He will either leave Lingxia town and develop elsewhere. Either willing to attach to the Zhang family. You can only choose one of the 2. At this time, Li Cheng noticed the medicine bottle in his hand that had not been returned, and there were also 2 yellow rank directors, Grass Return Dan. Grass Return Pill is a harmless treatment elixir, and it is actually a waste to remove poison. Obeying at a critical moment is enough to save the life of a martial artist of the refining body realm, and it will also have a great effect on the cultivators of the gathering spirit realm. Originally, I thought that Zhang Chushuan let him feed the poisoned person to show his financial strength, plus his lineup was neutral. Now it seems that there is still a temptation. The Red Dragon mercenary group is willing to listen to Zhang Jiazhuang's orders. Li Cheng made a decision and gave a salute. This ceremony, unlike the previous expression of respect, also represents allegiance. Zhang Chushuan understood. Everyone else present also understood. No one was surprised. The one who knows the time is Junji. Not to mention, Li Cheng has always regarded Zhang Chushuan as an idol. Then you put away these 2 grasses, you can save your life at a critical time, it is a meeting gift. Zhang Chushuan smiled with satisfaction. Talking to smart people is simple. Of the top 10 mercenary teams in Lingxia town, the 3rd and 4th are about to be destroyed. Zhang Jingxin's strength broke through the peak of the refining realm, and the Zhang family mercenary team will replace the Red Dragon mercenary team to become the first. As long as Li Cheng leads the Red Dragon mercenary group to return, this Lingxia town is not much away from the Zhang family. Meet and greet. Li Cheng looked up suspiciously. He guessed that Zhang Chushuan would return the grass to Dan and send it to him. Carrots and sticks, showing strength and gifts, are simple but practical means of the emperor. He understands. But he didn't expect that this was just a meeting gift. Zhang Chushuan saw Li Cheng's doubts, smiled slightly, and took out a transparent medicine bottle. As long as you perform well and get merit, the best of the human rank or even the lower grade of the yellow rank, martial arts. And this trick pill, you can have it if you want. Hiss. Li Cheng's eyes instantly widened. He didn't think about the human rank extreme or even the yellow rank lower grade martial arts for the time being. But the Tong Ji Dan, who had dreamed of countless times, really appeared in front of him at this moment. With this elixir, he could impact the refining body realm 10 times without any worries and sense the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. And in the bottle in Zhang Chushuan's hand, there are a full 10. Can you take out 10 Tongji pills at will? Will Zhang Chushuan only have these? Gathering Zhang Jingshuan and the others is a situation of the 10 layers of the refining body realm. Li Cheng, I am willing to die for the family master. Li Cheng said categorically. From the head of the Zhang family to the head of the family, it represents a lot of things. Go ahead. Zhang Chushuan smiled and nodded. Yes. Li Cheng took the order again and couldn't wait to leave with the members of the mercenary group. He didn't know how many merits Zhang Chushuan needed for a Tongji pill. But killing as many descendants of the Li family and the Shui family as possible will definitely have a better chance. Soon there was a huge loss of people on the streets. Zhang Chushuan's eyes were deep, and he counted down in his heart. 3. Quote. 2. Old man Zhang. When Zhang Chushuan counted to 3, a young man hurried up to him and asked with a blazing gaze, May I ask what you just promised Master Li Cheng? Can I also try to bring the people of the Star Mercenary Group to participate? Quote. The young man's name is Yi Chen. He is the head of the Xingqian Mercenary Group in Lingxia Town, 25 years old this year, and the sevenfold refining body realm. Young, naturally more aggressive. Human rank extremes and even yellow rank lower grade martial arts, as well as the Tongjiao pill that is close at hand. Bottom warriors, who doesn't want it? The corners of Zhang Chushuan's mouth were slightly upturned. The fish are hooked. 4%. Chapter 17. Whoa, the Zhang family secretly appeared and asked for flowers. Old man Zhang, do I have a chance to wait? Old man Zhang, I occasionally learned that a secret workshop of the Li family is located, and you can take people to kill. Do you see if you can get merit? Old man Zhang, I want to join the Zhang family as a nursing home, can you see it? Old man Zhang. Hearing Yi Chen's words, the eyes of the other scattered cultivators and mercenary group members on the scene lit up, and they were not far behind, and they asked one after another. The corners of Zhang Chushuan's mouth were slightly upturned, knowing that it was done. Li Cheng knows the times. He Zhang Chushuan is naturally willing to buy horse bones for thousands of dollars. What's more, this 1,000 gold, in him this is 10 gold. No, the effect comes out. He took out the grass to save people, but not to confront Li Mingyi. Saving the reputation of the Zhang family and its reputation in the eyes of ordinary warriors is only part of the consideration. The real reason is to show strength and financial strength at the same time. It is convenient to close together the small forces on all sides of Lingxia town, and it is really monolithic. For example, now, under the excitement of the crowd, even if some mercenary group leaders or small families do not have this plan, they will be forced by their subordinates to join. Once they join, they have no chance to leave. My Zhang family will launch a merit system today. You can take action to kill the remnants of the Li family and the Shui family, and then carry the head to my Zhang family's Foreign Affairs Hall to register and obtain merit. With merits, exercises, elixirs, all of them can be exchanged. Everyone is welcome to join. Zhang Chushuan finally showed his fangs. That was the purpose of his presence today. Otherwise, send Zhang Jingshuan and 4 people to lead the team, and you only need to wait for news at home. In the east of Lingxia town, the Li family mansion has a history of almost 200 years, and the building area is active and extensive, occupying a quarter of the area. The mansion is divided into an inner courtyard, a middle courtyard and an outer courtyard. The outer courtyard lived in the enslavement of the family servants, and then the outer courtyard guards. The guards of the middle courtyard, and then the Li family side and foreign relatives. After that, there is the inner courtyard, where the Li family is inhabited. At this time, in an extremely luxurious courtyard in the inner courtyard, more than a dozen fish were swimming around, with double cherry blossoms on their chests and white tigers on their legs, smiling cleverly. Between them, 2 blindfolded men move freely and slip their hands. Both wore exquisite Taoist robes with special patterns engraved on them. One of them has a dusty temperament and looks extraordinary, while the other looks like a monkey and has an extremely ugly mouth. Junior brother, or your children can play, but senior brother and I have lived to the dog for the first half of my life. The monkey-faced young man spoke enviously. Although he has now become famous for ordinary martial artists, his peak strength in refining body and the status of a quasi-yellow rank alchemist can be regarded as a guest by the big family in any county. But before that, they had lived in the mountains for 30 years, and although the environment was beautiful and the food was delicious, they lacked this beauty. If senior brother likes it, he can come to live here every year, and his father and grandfather will definitely welcome him. Contempt flashed in the young man's eyes under the blindfold, but he spoke very well. This cheap senior brother has use value, and a little beauty is not a small road. The monkey-faced young man felt that his genius junior disciple was very upright, thinking that he had a wood spirit body, was valued by the master, and his future was bright, and he was even more cautious. It is said that life is 3 strikes of iron, divided together, beautiful together, and cross the window together. The 2 divisions went out of the same door and occupied the same. Now the second thing is also going to be occupied. Junior brother, shall we proceed to the last step? Thinking of the delicious fish of the person, the monkey-faced man swallowed his saliva, a little monkey anxious. But after he finished speaking, he received no response. Junior brother. The monkey-faced man screamed again in confusion, but still did not get a response. A bad premonition suddenly appeared in his mind. Immediately after, he smelled a smell of blood. Not good. The monkey-faced man hurriedly removed the blindfold, and at the same time mobilized the aura to gather on his feet, ready to exert his identity. But as soon as the blindfold was taken off, a sword light came into his eyes, making him instinctively squint. And then, accompanied by a pop, the monkey-faced man's vision gradually recovered, and he also felt that his surroundings began to regress. Have you succeeded in performing your own body? But why does it feel different? 2 questions flashed, and the monkey-faced man found that a headless corpse appeared in his sight, which looked a little familiar. Bro, no, it's himself. I was beheaded. The monkey-faced man finally realized the situation, and his eyes couldn't help but widen. He, the 3rd disciple of the great elder of the burning incense valley, a quasi-yellow rank alchemist who could refine a human rank elixir, and a disciple of the 9-rank sect who had opened up 3 blood tricks at the age of 30. Actually died like that, died in the inner courtyard of this Lee family mansion. Who made the hand? Why kill him? The monkey-faced man felt that everything around him began to darken, and his thoughts began to sink. In the end, he had only one last question left in his mind. Why can't you wait for him to eat a human fish before killing him? He didn't want to die or a boy chicken. Sorry, why don't you make a move without asking? Disgusting. Ask a fart. Why are you talking like that? Then you persuade my father to let me go to alchemy. Quote. Be rude as you like. Quote. Talking sounded in front of the monkey-faced man. The 2 who talked to each other were Zhang Jingxi and Zhang Jingxuan, who came to the Li family to carry out the task of exterminating the clan. Zhang Jingxuan saw the unbearable picture in the courtyard and hated to make a move, but Zhang Jingxuan had no time to stop it. The monkey-faced man is also sad, because there is no vigilance in the inner courtyard of the Li family, and he wears a mask, and Zhang Jingxi's strength is already stronger than her, and the result is directly GG. Not long after Zhang Jingxi left, 2 more people came. The 2 men were dressed in black uniform, with masks on their faces, depicting dragon patterns and phoenix patterns respectively. The 2 took stock of the scene. Seeing the man in black with the phoenix mask looking back and forth on the 2 headless men, the man in black with the dragon mask wondered, Feng Lu, what's wrong? Quote. Long Lu, the eldest young master and the 5th young lady have caused trouble. The woman known as Feng Wu frowned and said in a deep voice. Among the information that the family owner asked us to collect, I have seen the pattern of this dress. These 2 are disciples of the Burning Incense Valley. Burning Incense Valley. Long Louis was stunned. That superior 9-rank sect. 5%. Chapter 18. Burning Incense Valley shakes. I hope to come more for collection. In the Xuantian continent, the sect family can be divided into 9 products. The 9th product is the second, and the 1st product is the highest. Each product is divided into superior, medium and inferior. Among them, the 3 to 1 rank sect is also known as the Holy Land, and it is said that there are strong people at the peak of the Great Sage, and even the ancient emperor is in the Nether Dao. The Burning Incense Valley, in the territory of the Yu Kingdom of Yangzhou in the early south, is a superior 9-pin sect under the jurisdiction of Qingchuan Prefecture in Lintang County, and the sect is established in a valley with strange incense. The current strongest person in the sect is the sect master Baixiang Daoren, a late-stage 9-fold cultivator of the gathering spirit realm. At this time, a panicked voice suddenly sounded in the burning incense valley. Not good. Senior Brother Hu and Senior Brother Li have broken soul cards. Inside the soul card hall, a guard disciple ran out in a panic holding 2 broken soul cards, all the way to the gate of the sect hall, shouting, "Sect Master, Elder, something big has happened." Quote. At this time, the sect master Baixiang Taoist happened to hold a meeting of elders, and when he heard the movement outside the door, he couldn't help frowning. The sect is loud and noisy. What kind of system? The Baixiang Taoist sat on top of the main hall, dozens of meters away from the gate. His lips moved slightly, and he did not speak loudly at all, but the voice exploded in the ears of everyone inside and outside the hall, and he was not angry and arrogant. The disciples outside the hall knelt on the ground with a hoof, constantly kowtowing and shouting. The sect master atones for his sins, and the disciple is responsible for guarding the soul card hall, and when he finds that the soul card is broken, he is anxious to report it, so he will be so reckless. Quote. Someone's soul card shattered. The expressions of everyone in the hall suddenly changed. Baixiang Taoist's eyes were like electricity, and he said angrily, "Are you saying that there are disciples of the sect who died outside?" Quote. A soul card is a special item that records soul information. When the person whose information is recorded dies and the soul returns to the sky, the soul card will crack with it. Some sect families use the special attribute of soul cards to establish soul card halls, and specially place soul cards for important members of the family sect so that their lives can be monitored in real time. The method of making soul cards is not difficult, the material is not precious, and the value is not high. However, for the Jupin sector family, it is a relatively valuable thing, and it is generally only used by core members. For example, in the Burning Incense Valley, only the elders and sect masters of the Inner Gate Elder Hall can use it. There are also some more favored elder personal disciples who will also have soul cards. Hu Watching and Li Zhaofeng are disciples of Grand Elder Ding Chuchun and both have soul cards. Now that except for the great elder who broke through in the retreat, and the rest of the elders were all present, the Baixiang Taoist could naturally guess that a disciple had died. Pray to the sect master. It is the soul card of Senior Brother Hu and Senior Brother Li. The disciples outside the door whispered. It's the wood spirit body that the great elder just took as an apprentice a few days ago. The expressions of the elders present and the Baixiang Taoists changed. Many martial arts inheritances in the Burning Incense Valley are wood-based, and the wood spirit body is very suitable. When Grand Elder Ding Chuchun brought back this apprentice, not only was he happy, but even the sect master line, who had always had a dispute with the great elder, was very happy. In the face of inheritance, the interests of the sect are above all else. Unexpectedly, only a few days had passed, and Li Zhaofeng had fallen. Could it be that the master of the Si Chao sect made a move, deliberately plotting against the genius of my sect? An elder guessed. The Hai Chao sect is also a 9-pin sect, and it is also in the territory of Qingchuan province, and it has a grudge with the Incense Valley. Quite possibly. Baixiang Taoist nodded gently. After thinking for a moment, he said, Li Zhaofeng came to ask me before leaving, and asked Hu Watching to accompany him back to his hometown. Quote. Li Zhaofeng was born in Lingxia town, Dongxing County, and in our sect's sphere of influence, it should not be done by local forces. But the specific situation needs to be investigated. Speaking of this, the Baixiang Taoist looked at the last position of the elder's seat and said, Mercy Flower, you go. Quote. Yes, sect master. A woman wearing a long pink dress and a veil on her head stood up to receive the order, and flew away with her body. This woman's name is Mercy Flowers, also known as Mercy Flowers, is an orphan raised by Baixiang Taoists, who has just broken through to the gathering spirit realm and is the 7th elder of the Burning Incense Valley. After the Mercy Flower left, the Baixiang Taoist continued. The great elder's breakthrough through the 7-fold late stage of the gathering spirit realm in this retreat is a major matter related to the entire Burning Incense Valley, and there is no room for mistakes. Don't inform him of Hu Watching and Li Zhaofeng's Yunluo for the time being. When he gets out, I will tell him personally. Yes. The elders answered. Meanwhile, the town of Lingxia. In the south area of the town, Shui Fuzhong, which is slightly smaller than the Li family compound. Shui Shaoqin, the pearl in the palm of the Shui family, played his favorite game as usual. Get on your knees. Give Miss Ben a good kneel. If you kneel unsteadily, Miss Ben will let people be whipped. HMPH, it's also your honor to be able to kneel in front of Miss Ben and look at the soles of my shoes. Wait a few days, that genius of the Zhang family, Zhang Yanmo, will also join you. Shui Shaoqin sat on a chair, holding a red leather whip in his hand, looking proud. On the ground in front of her, there were several handsome-looking men, all kneeling like pugs at this time. This is Shui Shaoqin's strange disease. Zhang Yanmo, you wait for me, and I will kneel in front of me forever in the future. I'll let you know what regret is and surrender. Bang! At this time, the door of Shui Shaoqin's boudoir was suddenly pushed open, startling her. What a thing that doesn't have long eyes. Shui Shaoqin sunk her face, very unhappy. She was just about to enter the state when she was interrupted. But the next moment, her expression froze and she said in surprise, Zhang Yanmo, why are you here? Quote. The door breaker was Zhang Yanmo, who followed Zhang Jinhao and Zhang Jingxin to destroy the Shui family. I'll kill you. Zhang Yanmo spoke indifferently and replied with a long knife. Poof. Oh. The long knife slashed. Shui Shaoqin failed to make any reaction, and his head was already different. Zhang Yanmo, hot hands destroy flowers. Dot. Inside the council chamber in the backyard of the Zhang mansion. Incense Valley. Wood spirits. Quote. I didn't expect the Li family to have this luck. No wonder that Xiao Li can break through the peak of the refining body realm. After listening to Long Lu and Feng Lu's reports, Zhang Chushuan smiled indifferently without the slightest worry. It's not a big deal. I hope that there will be a few more gathering spirit realm cultivators in this burning incense valley. 5%. Chapter 19. The rise of Li Cheng and his sons asking for flowers. I hope that the burning incense valley will not be petty, and the cultivators of the gathering spirit realm can send a few more at a time. He learned that his eldest son and younger daughter had become two personal disciples of the great elder of the burning incense valley. Zhang Chushuan did not have the slightest fear, but looked forward to it. Gathering spirit realm cultivators are not yet able to fly, nor can they perform their body spells all the time. The location of the incense valley is some distance from Lingxia town, and most of the people sent to investigate the situation are riding spirit rhinoceros horses. Waiting for people to arrive, it will take at least a day. At that time, at least 70% of Lingxia town fell into the hands of the Zhang family, which was considered the Zhang family's sphere of influence. The family's sphere of influence is his domain. He is invincible. The whole body of the cultivator of the gathering spirit realm is 100 times, can he fatten a wave, right? I suddenly think that it would be nice if I could come to a great emperor. Time passes quickly, and in the blink of an eye comes to night. The night melts. On the dark sky, there are several stars dotted with peaks, peeking into all the secrets of the continent. The extermination war between Shui and Li, initiated by the Zhang family and finally swept through the town, finally came to an end after lasting for most of the day. Ordinary people will be tired if they kill too many chickens, not to mention such a thing as raiding families and exterminating families. The overall strength of the Zhang family is powerful, but it lacks foundation, and it took a long time to kill Shui and Li's two lineages, not to mention that there are more side lines. But Zhang Chushuan had already planned to lure the major mercenary teams and some small families in the town to help, and it was finally done. Jin Zan, Jin Xian, you two take people to take turns to keep vigil. The background of Shui Li and his family, I will come to count it tomorrow, and then put it into storage. Seeing that it was getting late, Zhang Chushuan yawned and, after ordering something, walked towards his bedroom on crutches. People are old and have not enough energy. It's time to go to bed early, or to go to bed early. He focuses on wellness and pays more attention to detail. Back in the bedroom, Zhang Chushuan saw a beautiful figure lying on his bed. He suddenly reacted. It seems that tonight the third wife Nangong Li came back to accompany his son. Zhang Chushuan's eyes lit up, and he was directly a hungry tiger pounced. As for what to go to bed early, the beautiful wife is on the side, and the fool goes to bed early. The beautiful young woman opened her eyes in confusion. This is a beautiful young woman who looks 30 years old, and her eyebrows are 6 points similar to Zhang Jingxi. Seeing Zhang Chushuan, the young woman smiled. Master, you're back. Quote. This young woman is Nangong Li, who gave birth to Zhang Jingxi and Zhang Jingxin's biological mother for Zhang Chushuan. Because the cultivator level is a master of the Shui Yuan technique, there is no trace of age on her face, and she looks less than 30 years old. Zhang Chushuan's cultivation of the fierce tiger gong is a fire-based exercise in the basic 5 elements gong of the Xuantian continent. Unless he abolishes his martial arts, he cannot practice the water system martial arts for life. Otherwise, in order to rejuvenate his face, he also changed his water yuan technique. For some special reasons, Nangong Lu and Nangong Li have been outside, and every 7 days, one person will come back through a secret passage to accompany Zhang Chushuan. Lear, Lord, I'll tell you a good thing. Zhang Chushuan will get the elixir, improve the strength of Zhang Jingshuan and several people, and say the matter of destroying Shui Li and his family. Master, so the family crisis has been lifted. Nangong Li shrunk into Zhang Chushuan's arms, and a sadness faded in her eyes. Where the pill came from, she didn't care. Zhang Chushuan wants to speak, he will say it himself. Shui Li and his family died, and she was not interested in what benefits the Zhang family could get. She was only afraid that Zhang Chushuan would go out and fight hard, and the Zhang family would not be at peace. Lingxia town will be completely surnamed Zhang in the next 2 days. Zhang Chushuan reached out and stroked Nangong Li's hair, his eyes were neither sad nor happy. These are just small things. I am glad that with the Dragon Gong, we can repair the Dantian. When I get a better pill and make a breakthrough, we still have a long future. Zhang Chushuan kissed Nangong Li lightly on the forehead. Aha! Nangong Li nodded lightly, with longing in her eyes. Then Lear, sister, and young lady don't have to be separated from the master. Quote. There will never be that day. Zhang Chushuan said firmly. The two hugged tightly and enjoyed a moment of warmth. After a while, Zhang Chushuan looked at the concubine in his arms and said softly, Lear, let's rest. Quote. It's a pity that I won't come back to deal with it for a long time to come. That bet was made, but I won. Yes, sir, slaves come to serve you. Nangong Li understood what Zhang Chushuan meant, and a blush appeared on her face. Although she is an old husband and wife, due to her personality, she has always been very shy about the boudoir. In particular, Zhang Chushuan loves to innovate. This Lingxia town will completely change in the future. We have to hold the Zhang family's thighs tightly. In a large mansion in the west of the city, Li Cheng, the group of Red Dragon mercenaries, is carefully teaching his son Li Yi how to survive. Li Yi looked at his own father, who had completely turned into the lackey of the Zhang family, and felt very strange. Dad, you weren't like this before, you told me to be backbone. Li Yi held his breath for a long time and popped up such a sentence. The corner of Li Cheng's eyes twitched, and he took out a bottle of elixir and cheats and put it in front of Li Yi. Here are 10 top-grade quenching body pills, 1 high-grade Tongji pill, and the yellow rank lower-grade exercise method refining body chapter. Li Yi, 10 top-grade quenching pills. Need for tricks. Yellow rank lower-grade exercise body practice. Li Yi was a little dizzy for a while. These good things, the income of the Red Dragon mercenary group for a whole year can barely buy a top-grade quenching pill. But this Red Dragon mercenary group is not unique to Li Cheng. Son, if there is no adventure, this is a good thing that we will not get after walking through our lives. But these things, the head of the family gave me directly in private. Li Cheng put things away again and said with some sighs, these things are very precious to us, but do you think that the family owner can take them out and give them to me casually? Will they be precious to him? Quote. Li Yi's eyes flashed and he nodded. Father, I understand, the Zhang family doesn't put these things in their eyes at all. Quote. It was even unabashedly revealed to us. Judging from old Master Zhang's consistent resourceful style, the Zhang family is far more powerful than we have seen. Good. Li Cheng nodded, and his eyes were full of appreciation when he looked at Li Yi. Children can be taught. His own son is still very wise. Then the child understands. Li Yi said seriously. Be sure to hold the Zhang family's thighs tightly. Quote. Tomorrow, I will sign up to join the Zhang family's foreign department, and I will definitely lick the 3 generations of the Zhang family comfortably. Li Cheng, son, I just want you to learn from me, not let you surpass me. Well, it's okay to lick, but you have to lick it with a backbone, don't let people hate it. So, the last half of the sentence is the point, right? 5%. Chapter 20. Who serious people will participate in the family competition? 6,000 flowers plus more. It's early the next morning. Zongjia Mansion. By Waste Little Brother. Quote. No backbone at all. It's hard to get up. Li Cheng's father and son made up their minds to lick the Zhang family with backbone. Zhang Chushuan scolded the little brother in his heart, and tears of sadness flowed in his heart. Last night was a shame. He also forgot that he is too old now, his life is wrong, and his vitality has declined. Compared to Nangong Li, she is still a beautiful young woman. What is creativity cowhide? What about the influence of teachers in a previous life? But the little brother is not angry, and he can't cash out. Before he could even drink a cup of tea, he surrendered. Although Nangong Li did not show disgust, he still looked very satisfied, not like pretending. But this made Zhang Chushuan even more mad. How can it be in such a short time? Men, only this, must not fail. I have to find a way. Seeing that Nangong Li had not woken up yet, Zhang Chushuan half sat up and scratched his hair. Elixir. Grass is not enough. Boost your strength. Far water can't quench near thirst. Skill. Why is the avenue level field that is said to be good not reflected in this regard? Maybe you can go to the fellow villagers and find a way. Zhang Chushuan patted his head, opened the virtual panel, and clicked into the regional chat channel. Although it is early in the morning, it is very lively. I think you can run. I think you can kill yourself. I think you're on your knees begging for mercy. I think. With a bunch of, I think, Zhang Chushuan frowned slightly. What is this all about? Pulling the chat history up, he quickly found the reason. The source came from a person named Xiao Yan, who was swiping the screen for help. Everyone, ask for a deal to help, ask for a trade to save your life. My cheap father is the strongest man in the family in the past, but he suddenly disappeared half a year ago, relying on my grandfather's protection. I am still a young patriarch, but today my cheap uncle and cousin suddenly have a problem. If tomorrow the clan cannot break into the top 3, then me, I will be deprived of the status of a young patriarch. Why do you feel a very familiar feeling when I see what happened to you? This is the Tianzhao Rise template. Are you going to have an adventure next? Brother, please hug your thighs, squint smile. Don't hide it from you. I started to cultivate backwards 3 years ago. Brother, let's see if you have a ring or something, maybe it's going to rise. I tried it earlier, but in the end I found that it was poisoned. It should be that cheap little uncle who wants to take the throne. Brother's Day morning. I wipe. My father is the third eldest in the clan, originally the first day of the family. There is still a clan family in Fuchang, but as a result, participating in the clan competition was abolished by the genius of the clan family. Brother, go to the back mountain to find a place to take a bath. There is a chance waiting for you. Don't say it. I went early. I was almost bitten to death by a poisonous snake. Haha. Xiao Yan. Everyone, please don't play with memes. I'm seriously asking for help. The young patriarch has a lot of resources. If you don't have this identity, the cultivation resources will be reduced, and under the vicious circle, the devil knows when you can become the patriarch. Quote. Brother, ask for luck. I observed it and found that everyone is in the same situation. All of them have to participate in the family competition. The difference is the time and ranking requirements of the family competition. I think this is likely to be the first test. Upstairs answering. People in the Wu family. After 10 days of clan comparison, they can still open a treasure chest. People in the king's house. After 6 days of clan comparison, look at the treasure box and sigh. People in the Qian family. After half a moon, there are still 2 treasure chests. Half a month later, 3 days later, I shed tears of sorrow. Quote. Quote quote. Seeing this, Zhang Chushuan couldn't help but laugh. Sure enough, sand sculpture netizens are much happier. However, this family comparison is good, and you can organize one yourself. Although there is data on the talent strength of the descendants in the family panel, it is still necessary to see with your own eyes the degree of cultivation effort and whether you are good at fighting. No, the family is bigger than too young. There are only so many people in the Zhang family. Anyway, this Lingxia town has been completely surnamed Zhang, and may be able to hold a town-wide competition to wipe out the talented or persevering talents in the town. This plan is good, there is time to refine it. Zhang Chushuan held his chin and thought for a while. The family is better than the whole town, and it is good to see how this generation of young people is. When the time comes, he can be the referee. You can't learn from fellow villagers and participate in ethnic competitions, right? Serious people, who will participate in that thing themselves. The thought flashed, and Zhang Chushuan continued to look down. Xiao Yan. I know these situations. I want to ask for help if there is anyone to trade. Everyone has opened a treasure chest. Maybe who has something to help me. Quote. Deal. What do you have? Quote. Xiao Yan. I have a Yan Dan, a Xuanji elixir. Quote. Shish, Xuanji pill. There is a 1 in 10 probability that you will be hit. Are you here to show off? Quote. I cried and fainted in the toilet when I drew a lower pinfin. I, who has drawn a 1-level subordinate mastery, will be with you. I smiled and said nothing when I drew 10 lower grade quenching pills. You get rough. There is also a wave of wealth flaunting in regional channels. Of course, some are talking nonsense. There are also people who get good things and don't say it, or deliberately say bad. Everyone is not stupid. Seeing this, Zhang Chushuan's eyes condensed slightly, and he noticed a key word. Deal. By the way, I remember there was a trading board in the panel. Young patriarchs can trade with each other. Hey, this is a promising thing. Each other. Hey, this is a promising thing. Each other.